We are now live and recording. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Doctors and Dungeon Masters. I am Kelly Breivik, PhD student at UWM, and I am the Dungeon Master.
Hello, my name is Corey Hearn. I am also a PhD student at UWM English Department, but I am Plan C because we like to differentiate ourselves around arbitrary lines. Um, that's
It's not
actually, yeah, anyway,
entirely arbitrary, but okay.
I would beg to differ regardless. Um, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, yeah, I'm playing Taratha, the Divination Wizard.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, I'm Laylee Zeller, PhD candidate in the anthropology department. Um, and I play Tali, cleric.
I'm Eric Kirsting. I play Willow. I shoot stuff and I slash stuff and I have a good time.
Nice. Let's get a recap of what happened 2 weeks ago. At the
Nope.
end of. No! Yes! Of,
Isn't it the Dungeon Master's job to do the recap?
No.
It's whoever you want it to be's job.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like doing having this players do the recap because it's very much like how I can't like I always DM similarly to how I teach, and that's making people cry. No, I'm kidding. But I like having the players recap so I know what they got out of last session and know what they remember, and kind of it helps me nudge them in the things that they forgot that I think that they might want to remember, rather than just sort of blabbering what I want them to know and remember.
Yeah. I think the wisdom is that if especially if because we generally try to just do normal sessions, right? We're not really playing it up for the audience or anything like that. We're just kind of playing D&D, and we interact with the audience a little bit at the end, especially.
Mm.
But like if you're just doing normal sessions, like if the DM tells the players what happened last week, they've solidified it as fact rather than like there's subjectivity there, right? Like what your player experienced and how they interpreted the events may be different, but I do understand that like if you're doing like a live show where you're like Critical Role or Adventure Zone or something, right? It makes sense for the DM to do it because that keeps the audience like up to date with exactly what happened, and because the players are going to filter that through their own experience, right, and tell the audience things, they're going to get off track. They might not highlight the most important details for a certain spectator. But that said, what happened last week is that we returned to our home city of Vara. We were hanging out there. We went to the library, or that's where we started. I think we teleported to the library, and we were on a quest to go and visit some of my families to get them to go join in this crazy fight that's going to be happening. And I know that minor things that happened is that Taratha got chewed out by her boss, or the nobleman she serves, whatever you want to call it. I know Tali, I think, made a deal with her marketing clan, her traveling band of salesmen. What do you call them? Merchants.
The
That's the right
caravan?
word, right? The caravan,
yeah.
yeah. But
Can you
Tali
take
made a deal with the caravan to come join the conflict. And am I missing something before the finale?
No, but I just want you to take inspiration for just how you described Tali's thing.
Oh, okay, cool. I have inspiration now. D&D. And then we we managed to. Oh, I think Taratha got this artifact thing from her from the noble boy.
From Captain
Nope.
Bach.
The
Oh
Goblin.
no, from the goblin. Way more useful than noble boy. It was our
That
good goblin friend. Um, and we learned of the location. We saw the death of my sister, which was horrifying, and we learned the location of her death. And I went there and meditated, and the ghost of my sister came to visit. No, the sister is also the mother of the child that my character has been raising for the past dozen years. And um and it was really sad. And then my character became an Echo Knight and now fights with the ghost. But most importantly, for this session, we learned of the wizard who killed my sister, and now we're gonna go get revenge.
Yep. And then, just as a reminder, your characters would know that if you just storm the front door and kill him, that is very much illegal. I'm not trying to stop you. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the kind of politics of.
I'm about to go die in a big Gundam war. I'm leaving town tonight, so I don't really care.
That is
very
fine.
much about...
I just wanted to let you know that,
leave no witnesses.
that too. So yes, I just
I find it funny that like you like hammer it home because it's true, and I think it needs to be said. But also, I mean, when has Waz stopped D&D characters from doing anything?
No, I know. I am just letting you know, in the case that you want to return to Vara and you survive this Gundam war and come back, you'll be on trial for murder. Even
Unless
if
we don't, unless there are no witnesses.
that too. But anyway.
What happens if there is a witness?
Anyways, we're gonna follow good COVID-19 procedure and wear masks.
Yes, that was the best plug of the day. Oh my god. Can we say that Eric got that point of inspiration for that instead of
Jesus
the
Christ.
fucking marketing team?
Fine.
The point is that I have advantage on my next attack against this wizard.
Ouch. But yes. So, you know the part of town that it's in. You also did promise Zola ice cream.
Yes, ice cream. Ice cream first.
So, you can sort of suit up or whatever you want, like at the bookstore. You can, I mean, it is like pretty late. It's like 10-ish. There's probably like an ice cream store, because like the ice cream stores always are open late for some fucking reason. So you could definitely get ice cream, but it's a little too late for like magic shops. But you can, gather stuff at the bookstore. You can also gather stuff at Taratha's, like kind of collection at the other place, but at Alistair's house, because Alistair's house is near the Ka family's house. But yeah. What flavor ice cream do you get? And do you get some for, what's it called? Quen?
Yeah. She's never had ice cream, most likely. So
Definitely not.
I will go get some chocolate and vanilla. And what's that special fruit that we were talking about like a week or two ago?
Oh, I mean, they don't have that here. That's specific for.
Oh, they don't have that here.
Yeah.
Never mind. We'll get a durian ice cream.
Sounds good. So you return home, and Zola, it's more of a joke at this point because it's closed, but she'll go, "Welcome to Steady Quill. How can I help y'all?"
We got that ice cream.
Oh boy. Hey, Quen, come over here. And Quen will walk over and.
I've only been gone for like 2 hours.
I mean, I wouldn't say 2 hours. Actually, no, it was long.
We left to go get ice cream, and then I went and did like that spiritual connection somewhere else
that did
in town.
take. Yep, that did take. I mean, it was only about like a 15-minute walk, but I would say that it's probably been like 90 minutes-ish about, because you have to go walking around to get the ice cream after that. And as she takes the ice cream and gives one to Quen, she'll go, "So did you get lost?"
I just ran into an old friend.
Ah. Was it one of Tali's friends too?
Nope.
Not really.
All right. Is someone that maybe would want to buy a book soon and get us going with that cafe?
Nope.
All right. Well, I
They
don't.
do like books, but more of a librarian.
And as you answer
After
that.
tonight, I will tell her.
Okay. As you're talking to Zola, Quen
But what
looks
if
at
we
the
die?
ice cream. Oof.
It's not an option in Willow's mind.
Kuen looks at the ice cream and then bites it and then immediately
Oh,
regrets it. And
it's
you watch
more
her.
of licking food.
And she swallows it like painfully and nods her head. And she'll go, "It's good though." And then she'll like lick her teeth like to kind of like get the cold off of it, and then she'll very timidly start licking it instead and kind of gets the point.
I'll give her a spoon.
And that would actually be helpful. Thank you. And she'll spoon the cone, and Zola will look around at all of you, and she'll go, "So, Taratha, do you want to see some of the cool stuff that I know how to do now?"
I'd be delighted.
All right, this one's gonna take action. I don't know. Should I cast it as a ritual or should I cast it like a normal spell?
Hurry up.
And she will kind of like go to a place that's pretty open and move the chairs, because she definitely set up a place where people can sit and read, which was probably like a little bit contended in the beginning, because like why would they, why sell the books if they're just going to sit and read them? But maybe they'll want to buy it if they were able to sit and read it first. So there's like an open space, and she goes in to it, moves the chairs around, and casts Tiny Hut. And then she pokes her head out and she goes, "Look familiar, Taratha?"
It's quite nice. I'm glad you learned that spell.
Mm-hmm. I've been working real hard.
I can tell.
Is there anything else you want to do here? How do you...
I assume that because we're desert dwelling folk, that we have like masks to protect against like dust and stuff. If there's like a dust storm. So I'll sneak upstairs and grab some masks.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yep. Those are...
And how are you going to excuse yourself? There would be some places open because it is the desert. And when it's cooler out, things are done during the early morning and evening hours. So, but not everything is open at this time. So what excuse do you give?
We're gonna head out and get some drinks before we got a long journey ahead of us the next couple weeks. So you're just gonna go relax out, but you guys stay here, all right?
All right. Well, we'll see you soon. And you notice on her face that she's not inciting you, because she has something that she just wants to do, and maybe she wouldn't be able to do it as much as she wants to if the adults are around. So it's the both of you are doing something that the other one doesn't want to know about.
All right. I
But
won't
knowing-
press the issue.
Yeah, but knowing Zola...
knowing her, she's running away from home, so...
I say, knowing Zola, it probably isn't anything bad. It's just
No.
All right, now we're going to read the books that Aunt Willow says that we can't read first, and only has to be given to customers, but they're really
Not
cool
the
books.
anatomy book.
But anyway, so you all head out. Is there any place that you would go before going to the Ka family's place?
I do have a conversation I want to have with the group.
Okay.
I feel a little conflicted.
Why's that?
Well, see, I know that it's probably best if we just get this fucker dead, but I want him to know why he died.
Why he'll be dead?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I feel this way, but I want...
Because you have the part when it's making you want the unattainable.
It's unattainable for him to know?
No, to fill in that hole, to make this mean something.
maybe you're right.
If I were you, I'd go back in and say some sort of goodbye because I don't see us surviving this, frankly.
Hmm.
Then why are
Well,
we doing it? There are other ways to make him pay, and also we might be able to plan it a little bit better with a little bit more time.
we're leaving town tonight or tomorrow, so it's about as good as
Oh yeah.
any.
Sorry, Tali would not have said that. Leia forgot that we were leaving town tomorrow.
Yeah, leaving town, but I intend on coming back.
And I intend on sleeping in my bed tonight.
I'm just saying, necessarily, we shouldn't be foolish. Murder is messy business. Honestly, the best thing I could do is reduce him to ash.
Do you know ways of he's like a wizard, right? Do you know ways of like stopping him from doing his magic?
Yeah.
Well, those will be pretty useful, I bet.
Yes. But he is an incredibly powerful wizard, and the spell we saw that you don't come back from that. And the ability for me to counter that is slim, quite slim.
How can we avoid it then?
Don't get hit.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Because and I move my eyes up and down. Willow, I'm serious. One or two beatings on you, and you're just where Zinni is. I'm not powerful enough to bring you back.
All right. I guess I'll hold off. I mean, Eric could like possibly strategize around like the spell silence or something, right? But I don't know if we know that spell, and I know, so I won't bother.
Silence deafness? No, I have that.
Okay.
Blindness, deafness.
No, I'm talking about silence, because like, right, like making silence in an area, then they can't cast powered kill, and I have sentinel, so they can't even leave.
I do have silence, for the record.
All right.
And I can maybe bring people back.
All right. Well, if Willow can get on top of them, silence could be a really good one, because she has sentinel, right? So like things can't really get away from her. It won't be able to like walk away from the silence.
Kelly, if we take an hour, can I re-prepare my spells or no? Is it only at the top of the day?
It's only at the top of the day, but if you wanted to do it first thing in the morning instead of
well,
at
then we'd
night.
have to attack during the day. It was like
night's better.
Not so much like re-getting spell slots, just re-preparing which spells I could cast. But
yeah, I would say that because you found this information out, you would have to be doing it during a long rest.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair, I think.
Like if you had known this information in the morning, I would have said yes.
Ooh, we could spook this guy. So can I summon Zinnia?
I mean, it's
manifest echo.
Yeah, like you can do your like whatever your stuff is.
Yeah,
As an
so the
Echo
bonus
Knight.
action, it says you manifest an echo of yourself, but I was thinking that was an
The
echo of
echo,
Zinnia,
yeah,
right?
the echo instead of yourself is Zinnia.
We could just spook them. It's like ghost shit. Because I can move it around. I can like echo avatar up to 1,000 feet away from me. I can just spook it outside the window. Just like, ghost story. I'm just Eric is just thinking out loud. Like, don't please ignore me.
No, that is cool. I would actually, Taratha, give me a history check.
That is going to be a 23.
Okay, I'm going to zoom out of this. So if you go on to what's it called?
The Twitch
Twitch.
channel?
Yeah. So the entrance to the Ka family's residence, there is a manufactured pond and little islands that move to an entrance into the home. And there are many entrances like this. This is just one of them. The home is almost entirely underground. The only bits that are above ground are just like a reading room, the kids' playroom, a sunroom, but the house in its like in almost its entirety is underground. So, and the what you saw, Taratha, was no windows in the room that he was in, so you would know that you could not spook him by like a window over here. You would also know that each of these things is guarded. With because it's over 20, you'll know that there are 4 guards, by the entrance because maybe you were walking by as you do from the Alcott residence to wherever, and you always see 4 guards by the front gates. This part is open land. It is like on their property, but they allow the public to, or the rich public to wander it. The official gate is right here, so there is the security starts here, but all this is free reign.
Could just teleport there.
If it's 400 feet away with Dimension Door, you mean? Or
Yeah.
That could bring 2 of you in there.
I was thinking about how you could just blow like 3 spell slots to Dimension Door twice, which would be terrible. But what do you guys think? What's our best plan to get in there? Well, we could try to swim around, try to avoid detection.
I mean, we can go show the memory to Good Boy Buddy, try to get a warrant.
I mean, think about how much power and influence this guy has. You think that he can't wiggle his way out of this?
I'm more worried that he has so much power and influence that we don't come out alive. That's what I'm worried about.
Or we get thrown in jail afterwards.
Yeah.
Good Boy Buddy would do everything that he possibly could.
If this person is so powerful and we do what you're saying, aren't you just signing Good Boy Buddy's death certificate?
I mean, I'm sure Good Boy Buddy knows exactly how powerful he is. He can make a decision for himself. It's also literally his job to handle this kind of situation. So it's not like I feel too bad letting him know. Also, fuck cops.
I think to take on someone this powerful, we can't do it on a whim.
Literally, if I take
Understand?
a single scratch, I'm vulnerable.
I know that we're leaving tomorrow, but we need more time to plan this out. Just like that time, it was ridiculous of Taratha to go after that monster all by herself, and look how that turned out.
Turned out fantastic.
It did not. You almost died. You're only saved because someone
did.
else saved you.
I did die. I did die.
You almost stayed dead.
Now, just to give you some options to spitball things, you could convince the Ashina that you brought with you, like, we have something that's very time sensitive. Well, we need to delay a day, and there's not much they could do to stop you. Or you can do it when you're done with the mech battle.
I think Willow would probably feel a little frustrated. But she understands why you guys are kind of hesitant. And I guess I'm gonna make a roll to determine something. All right. She kind of looks you guys up and down. She says, "It's fine. This is my fight. I can go
We're
in."
not letting you go in there alone
Oh,
either,
man.
Willow. Jesus Christ.
I can open the door.
I just rolled to see if if like Willow gets that you guys maybe this isn't necessarily like your thing, but she's still resolved to do something. She's been waiting a long time, so it's hard for her.
I guess there's only one other thing. Sorry, I'm just thinking of like legalities. Duels are legal.
Ooh, I could challenge him to a duel.
Well, we got to get there first. And I highly doubt stamping outside of his doorway is going to provoke him to accept a duel. It's also very unlikely for him to accept a 3-1 duel.
Yeah, what about one-on-one?
Possibly. And also, I mean, there might be ways of convincing him. He might be, he might have an inflated ego. Who knows? Most likely does. But
As most
he's the
wizards
type of
do.
where, yeah, he's the type of wizard. He's the type of person though that I bet can back up that ego.
How might we entertain an audience with? Do we know his name?
Roshna Ka.
How might we entertain an audience with Mr. Ka?
Well, I could pull the noble card. Maybe that'll draw his attention.
Color me shocked.
Well,
I could send him a message. And
he has no reason to even talk to you.
I could manufacture a reason.
How might you do that?
Maybe he has interest in the Ashina, or perhaps in I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm spitballing here. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get in there. And I do have this means of telepathically communicating with him. That's all. And so, if there was something I could say that could entertain or that could engage with him, maybe some sort of promise of, power, or our display of intelligence or something that he would be interested in. Even maybe just an I know what you did, 10, 12 years ago.
I doubt he even remembers her.
He will.
You might be arrogant, but you don't need to be. My recommendation would be to see if I would go talk to Alistair. Just you. And see if there's a way that he can broker a meeting.
See it wake.
They have strength. I mean, he's a big boy. He can be woken up.
Sorry.
And then, other than that, I would go to Good Boy Buddy, who could literally force him into a conversation. But once you set the Good Boy Buddy train moving, it becomes a bit more public. So
yeah,
those are my recommendations. I mean, you could set up that link, but then that immediately tips him off, and then who knows?
What do you think, Tolly?
Or you could try to strike a deal with my daddy and see if there's something he could do.
No. Please, no.
That was not said, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think utilizing our resources is better than going in half-cocked. I'm here to do this.
I mean,
but
he's also half-cocked right now, right? He doesn't know we're here.
No, going off half-cocked is when you go off without a plan. We don't have one. We don't know the interior of the house. We don't know really who this guy is.
How far away is the house?
I imagine you're walking, and it's about an hour and a half from.
Well, we're outside of the house now, aren't we?
You're like passing by it. You're not like standing there talking.
Yeah.
I imagine
So
you're right
I can,
around the
like,
corner
find
from it.
familiar, so to speak, 1,000 feet away from myself. So I was wondering, can I get a layout of the inside of the house with my Echo Knight's Echo avatar?
Okay. If you want to stealth your way and kind of sit behind a tree and do that, you certainly can.
All right. So I will go and I will sit down and I'll say, I think I can scout it out a little bit, get a little bit better lay of the land, and I will close my eyes. And I am now
Stealth check
deafened
first.
and blinded. Oh, okay. I thought I was like in the clear zone, like hanging out.
Right, but if you don't want people to just see what you're doing, like, because it is the middle of the night, so if you don't want to have like someone check out, because like if you're sitting there for a while doing nothing, they might be like, hey, what's going on there, and if you're blind and deaf,
all right,
it'll arouse suspicion.
All right, I'm just looking at all my stuff. Okay, that'll be 24.
Okay, yeah, you find a nice little spot that you can tuck in, sit crisscross applesauce, and roll me a D100.
87.
Okay. You are in a hallway. I imagine that.
No. I don't think I can't manifest it 1,000 feet from me.
Oh, okay.
I
It
can
could go.
I summon the within 30 feet of me, and then I can move it around.
Okay.
At a speed of 30 feet per second, and it has like no limitation on, like, it has like a flying speed and stuff, so I can just like
Here's a
fly
question.
over stuff.
Do you want it to be inside or outside of the gate when you manifest it? I'll say that you could get yourself within 30 feet to have it bypass the gate if you so choose.
Let's bypass the gate.
Okay. 1 second. I'm just going to.
So the echo is magical, translucent, gray image of Zinnias. It's kind of ghostly. So in theory, if somebody were to see it, maybe they would think that a ghost. Oh my God, and maybe not necessarily think we're under attack or invaded.
Right.
Just
So give me a stealth check for her. You can use your stats for it.
All right. 20.
Okay. She is able to. There's a railing, so she's able to duck down and stealth her way up to here. The guard is pacing, doing like walking circularly around here.
Okay.
So I imagine
But
you wait.
I've gotten past them.
You not yet. She is currently
Okay.
on the one side, but there is another guard that anytime. So just to give you a heads up on the two sort of patrols, A walks clockwise, the other one walks counterclockwise, so that there's never a point where these, like this bridge, is not being looked at to some capacity. So how do you handle that?
Could I float down into the pond and just move through the pond?
Give me a stealth check with the. So it's incorporeal, you said?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm pretty
so
sure.
double check it just to make sure it doesn't make a splash.
All right. The echo is a magical, translucent, gray image that lasts until you're destroyed. Your echo has 14 plus your proficiency bonus AC, 1 hit points, immunity to all conditions. If it has to make a saving throw, it's the same size as you, and it occupies its space. On your turn, you can mentally command the echo to move. It's kind of a little vague as to if it is incorporeal, because it's like described as an illusion, because it says like things like it's translucent, it's an image.
Is it able
right?
to go through walls?
I am unsure. I'll Google, can an echo go through walls?
If it can, then I would say you don't have to make a check. If it cannot, then you are going to have to make a check.
Yes, it can.
There you go.
It's an object, not a creature. So it's an illusion, basically, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I can just bamf into the water, I guess.
Yep. And if it could go through walls, and you don't have to go through the front, I imagine you just circle her around, go through here, and then just walk inside.
Yeah, that's what I was like trying to do in the first place.
I misunderstood.
But I don't think I clearly communicated that. But yeah, the echo is crazy because it's not a creature, so like it doesn't follow the normal rules, I guess. So all right, so I can walk into the house, and what do I see?
Okay, so I'm gonna describe it a little bit before I go into like the inside of the house. So it is a spiral staircase. The overall colors of this place are red, black, and gold rather. And there's a spiral staircase that Zinnia can go down, and it's about 3 stories deep. At the bottom of the 3rd story is where it opens up to a grand hallway where there are many sort of adornments and statues. There's a lot of obsidian statues of ravens and panthers and bears. It seems to be like those are like the Ka family is primarily their crest is a raven, but there seems to be themes of just also strength as well, so that's where the panthers and the bears come from. And they're lining the either side of the hallway until you get to the main entrance, and went rather into like sort of like the actual home and not this showy sort of walkway. It's a stone structure with a red carpet. Rolled out from one entrance to the other. Zinnia slowly pokes through, and in the grand entryway there are stairs that go to other parts of the house, and there's rooms off to other sides. Give me an investigation check.
5.
Okay. It takes a while, and give me a stealth check as well.
16.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, it's 18.
Yep. So there are like wait staff inside. You don't see guards inside. It seems like there are like the guards are outside manning so that people don't get in. Um,
Okay.
but inside, yes, there are some people that are there to help, but it doesn't seem to be like there might be a beefier sort of like like what's the word, like housekeeper, but they don't seem to be armored mercs that are outside. And it takes a long time with Zinnia poking her way through, but eventually,
I only get it for 10 minutes, just so you know. So
okay,
I
at
can
the
sustain it for
very
10 minutes, and
yeah,
then
at the very end, she goes up a spiral staircase to the second level and is able to get to. One second. Now here's a question: would she go down the hallway?
I mean, with my investigation check, I'll just let you decide if I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. There was no reason um, not to go down there. You get up here. I'm just moving
I
Taratha
can
because I'm a good
dismiss the
doofus.
avatar without even using an action, just so you know. So if like at the center, if there's like a sight of danger, I can go and
Yep.
just bamf
There
it away.
is no sight of danger, but as you get out of the staircase and take one step into the hallway,
One float. I'm not
or
stepping
one
anywhere.
float into the hallway, you hear the sound of a dog barking. You do not see a dog. And like even like I'm just saying, like you don't even have to make a check. There is nothing alive in this hallway that should be making a barking noise, but as soon as she stepped here, it started barking. And that's where the 10 minutes end.
I'm just
But I'm going to
curious.
say you have an idea because this dog is barking that this is probably leading to where he is or near where he is.
I'm just gonna say, and I totally agree that the pound should probably bark, uh, but it ignores illusions. It specifically
Oh
says that in
shit.
the spell.
Okay. Then
But
I
it's
missed
only if
that.
you think it's an illusion. It's considered an object, not I think not an illusion necessarily. Um, but
Mm.
but it says when a small or larger creatures come within 50 feet of it, it starts barking. But it's not a creature. So, but I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's
You
weird.
can make the ruling. You can make the ruling. I think it's totally legit if it barks because it's a
Yeah.
ghost, right? Like
Yeah. I'm going to say that it barks, but not loud enough. Like it's a confused bark. Like it's like, you know, like, because it's, you know, so I'm going to say it does not alert Rashna, but it definitely detects the presence. So, and Zinnia is able to kind of pop back and.
So I think Rashna's on the second floor. That would be
Yes.
my guess.
Yep, and in this
All right.
area. So you're not able to
I'll just
see inside, but you have a feeling that that happens, and the dog does not bark loud enough for it to alert Rashna.
and I'm with the fam this whole time. Like, are you guys with me while I'm blinded and deafened?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'll be describing what I see every step of the way.
Yep.
Like, because I can talk while I'm in the avatar form, but I'm talking out of my normal body. I'm just blind and deafened. Like, kind of like it's fine familiar, basically, right?
Mm.
Well, so we know where he is now. So we got a little less. Maybe now we're only we're 2/3 cocked now. um, I got also the patrols kind of walking patterns. I think we could. I think we might be able to avoid them if you know whether we go through the lake or something.
I'll pop back to that. And there are multiple entryways. It's just imagine this at every entry point. There's 4 guards, a couple of islands, and then an entry into the home.
I'm gonna look up a question, but I don't think it's really matters. But if you guys want to do a little planning for just a second.
So, what have Tali and Taratha been talking about while Willow is doing
I
her
mean, probably
thing?
nothing if Willow is
Yeah.
talk is going through everything that she sees.
Mm-hmm. So what are they thinking at the end of all this?
That this is still a bad idea.
Yarp.
Okay, rules as intended. I can so like I can do a bonus action to swap with my echo, but rules as intended, you're not supposed to be able to do that with the echo or like the scouting one where you like look through its eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I just looked up the sage ruling. Rules as written you can, but rules as intended no. So,
Okay.
So I couldn't like send my person in and then swap places with the echo right like 1,000 feet away and just be
Right.
there, which would be nice, but that's just not, you know.
I would say you could do it within the 30 feet one. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is the, you know, that, but that, I think that's rules as intended, so that's totally okay. In theory, how big is the distance between the things? Could I like send her out 30 feet and then swap places and then skirt around, send her out 30 feet and then swap places with
I
the
mean,
or is the
I
water
would.
more than 30 feet?
I mean, you could get within 30 feet of the water.
Or like, so I don't even have to go in the water to swap, right? That's what I'm asking.
Right. You just send her into the water and then you swap.
Yeah. Yeah, because it looks like it's only like 20 feet, like, across at some of those points. Okay. I mean, so, like, Willow's mind is working towards solutions. That's all I'm gonna let you... That's for you guys, you know. Oh, yeah. So you can swap, yeah. It just costs 15 feet of movement to do the swap. Okay.
What about the other two?
I think we're just waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, Willow's back now, and so she's
Oh.
she's talked about what she saw. She said that she looked at the distances between the water, like the moats, and that she thinks she could like teleport across those with her by swapping places with Zinnia, the Echo. So she's formulating a plan of possibly being able to get inside. She notes that there's a dog on the second level, so that would be something that you might want to swap if you want to some sort of invisible barking sound that seems to be an alarm system, but it didn't seem to go off fully because of the echo. So,
But it would go off when you all go in.
Yeah. So I have a question. Just
Wait. It's an actual dog or an invisible dog or what?
It's some sort of spell alarm. Like that's
it's
what
the spell alarm. Okay.
It's
No.
not the spell alarm. It's Mordekainen's faithful hound, but my character doesn't know that is what it is. It's just when like there's a barking sound right on top of her, right at the very end, so she knows that there's some sort of alarm, some sort of invisible like hound, presumably magical, right? That's there to warn of intruders. Well, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to just stay here and be backup, you know, I can head in and try to scout out further foot.
So you just want to barge in, is what you're saying?
I mean, I don't see a better way to go about it.
You're right. If we're gonna decide to do it right now,
and I'm pretty determined to do that. Like I said, you guys, if this isn't your fight, you know, and if this isn't your fight, it isn't your fight.
what good is it having friends that are wise if you will not listen to their wisdom, Willow? I don't understand.
Look, I look into my future, and I don't necessarily, you know, I find it's kind of funny. I think it's Terathan and I are thinking in reverse a little bit, but I look into the next couple months, and I see that there's a lot of futures where I think, I'm killed by some kind of angel or something like that, and I don't get this chance. I don't know if this might be my only chance to do this. And you don't have to agree with it, but I feel like this is something I got to do.
I think about the future a lot. And I get it. I get it. And I want to help you. But does it need to happen right now? Does it need to happen this way?
I think so.
Do you want revenge or do you want justice?
I think I want revenge.
That's what I feared.
It's hard to measure what this Rotham took from me. I can't.
I understand, and it's been a long time coming. I get that. But I can tell you, this is not the best way to go about this. Let's say we survive and can leave and flee the city. Everything you've built here, everything that Zola has built here, it's gone. Just gone. You'll be trading not just your life for your revenge, but Zola's as well.
I don't necessarily see it that way.
I know you don't. You are in a tunnel vision right now, and I feel that. I understand that. But we are banking on a lot of what ifs, a lot of contingencies that I frankly don't have the spell slots for.
Have you spent a lot today?
Sorry?
I'm just trying to. Have you spent a lot of spell slots today?
No, I'm making the joke like this is such a complex situation. I can't make a contingency for every situation that we come into contact.
You can only have one contingency up at once, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric also knows that Kelly planned out this whole thing, so Eric really wants to see what Kelly planned out.
I mean, you could see what I planned out next week or at the end of all this. It doesn't have to happen tonight. You can also literally wait a day, gather resources, and come back tomorrow, and we still do it today.
Again, I would highly recommend an audience with Alistair or going to Good Boy Buddy. I don't.
Fine, I'll talk to your.
You don't need to talk to Alistair. You can go talk to Good Boy Buddy. I just don't want us
I'm not talking to Good Boy Buddy about this.
Okay.
I mean, talking to Good Boy Buddy does immediately take out the ability to even have revenge, because if this person died after talking to Good Boy Buddy would know it was us and would take us in.
Yes. And not to mention, what Good Boy Buddy's like the one good cop in the world, right? All cops except Good Boy Buddy are bad, right, or something along those lines. And we might lose Good Boy Buddy if we just tell him and then leave, right? So fine, tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a duel tomorrow afternoon. Maybe it'll be an ambush. I don't know, but I'll tell the Ashina that we need a day.
All right.
All right. We can say we could fast track some of the things. But I'll say that if you want to try and gather anyone for help, that would require a conversation. So, like, we can, if you want to just tell the Ashina we gotta wait a day, something came up, then they'll be salty, but they're good. If you want their help, then we'll have the conversation.
Nope, no help.
Okay.
I mean, she's just not dragging anyone else into this. She already feels bad about dragging you two into it.
Yep. So I'd want to know, how do you prepare and what moves do you make to try and gain access to Rashna?
I mean, I'm gonna go talk to Alistair and see if he knows a way to get Rashna to like come to him or something, or I don't know. I'll talk to Alistair about it.
So how do you approach? Would Taratha be involved? Would you walk in on your own? Would you have Taratha alert Alistair?
Now, I assume Taratha's setting up the meeting. Is that what?
No, Taratha is not a part of the situation at all.
Oh, I thought you were implying that you would set up a meeting when you were saying go talk to Alistair.
No, I said I would not be involved, but you should go talk to Alistair.
All right. Well, I'll go visit Alistair tomorrow morning in the wee hours.
Sure. So you were given a little bit of resistance from the, what's it called? Like the wait staff. They were made aware of you yeah. Like most people, like if Tali came in, she would not be allowed in, but you were given like special permission to see him without an appointment. And you have a feeling it has something to do with like what he sort of found out or knows or feels guilty about. So you're given only resistance because he was in the middle of sort of his morning training. But they eventually bring you over to.
I can wait.
Sure. So then it would be just about breakfast time at this point, because he trains before breakfast. And he'll invite you to sit down for breakfast with him. He will be dressed and sort of, cleaned up at this point. And he's sitting across the table at you, his hands folded. His breakfast is on the table, but he does seem curious. And he goes, "Are you well?"
I'm as well as one can be, I suppose. How are you doing?
I am also doing well. I am curious. Are you here on behalf of Taratha?
No, I'm here on behalf of Willow.
What would you like, Willow? What do you want to talk about?
What do you know of Rotham?
Rashna.
Rashna. Whoops.
It's all good. Why would you like to know?
There were 2 others there that night.
What night?
The night my sister died. One of them was your... it was his father, right?
Yeah.
Your father. One of them was one of the now disgraced artificers. And one of them was Rashna.
Pardon me for sounding crass, but what business did your sister have with people like my father? And artificers, in fact.
It appears that they were using her bookstore as some kind of front for exchanging suspicious books. she got caught up in it. She didn't know that she was being used for such purposes.
Well, if you want to know about Rashna, he is someone that I broke the ties with first. He attempted to court me into his good graces, and I vehemently denied. I know he is a powerful wizard. I know that he dabbles in the schools of necromancy. I know that he is a threat. Are you intending to do something with him?
You should say that. I would like to meet him. Perhaps this meeting will end with him being struck down. Perhaps that struck down will be via duel, if you know that he is a prideful man who may accept such an opportunity.
Not from you, if I'm being perfectly honest, Willow.
What if I could look like someone else?
Like who?
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
You see, Willow, I understand that you were on the outside of nobility and may not understand, but to be perfectly frank, nobles just don't care about people like you, people that hail from where you're from.
And that's why my sister's dead.
I know. I am merely telling you because unless you appear to be a noble and are able to pass as the noble, well, it is like an ant dueling one of us. We would not accept a duel from an ant. Even Taratha would not gain a duel.
All right, fine. What would you do?
And he laughs and goes, duel him. But he knows that that's not an option for you. And he will go, or, if I'm being perfectly frank, and he'll consider for a moment and just say, throw caution to the wind. Sometimes revenge and knowing that someone has received what was coming to them is better than abiding the law.
I mean, it helps, either way.
It does.
If I die, there goes a little bit of your guilt. If he dies, there goes a little bit of your rivals.
That is true. I can't help but wonder, though, what of Zola if you die?
She'll be fine. And I'm not gonna die.
You might. I know he has a copy of himself. I know that he has defenses. I know.
Fucking wizard.
I know that he has stored pieces of himself elsewhere. I've been reading my father's journals. I have one of them. I know not where the other is, but I imagine it's somewhere in his home.
You don't live in your dad's home?
What?
Or you're saying that Rashna has one of your dad's journals?
No. What's his face? Alistair has his dad's journals. He's been reading them to sort of catch up with what's going on now that he's like learning more and more and he knows what to look for. And he was able to find that they essentially he is in possession of, or his father was, and now it's just sitting in his home, is in possession of one of Rashna's phylacteries.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying okay. I get it now.
Yeah, and the other phylactery is somewhere in Rashna's home. And you get the sense that, like, the reason why Alistair hasn't done anything with it is because he's been waiting for a reason to sort of use it as a political move. And it has just been playing dumb for this time.
Well, you be ready to destroy that when the time comes.
I will.
I'm trying to. I don't know what to do. Eric is saying that, not Willow.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that Willow would be like so set on this vendetta and revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she could like leave town. Like that would be a really hard sell to just leave it be. But I understand. I don't want to like derail the campaign by being like I have to go fight this guy or whatever.
I mean, this was part of the campaign. Like, this was either going to happen first or second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone is on board with you getting what you want. You know, Tali just isn't here to like
Yes.
do it without a plan.
So what Willow would gather, because Alistair, he will give information because he does feel guilt over the things that his father did, and this is an opportunity for him to sort of erase that. He's also talking in ways that, like, he's not admitting to the guilt. He's not being extremely forthright, but he does. You are able to sort of gather the information
Do
that
I believe everything that he's saying? I guess
you could do an insight check.
It's not that good. It's 12. 14.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that he has some sort of like agenda that he's not talking to you about, but everything he is saying is true. And you are essentially, excuse me, he is a lich, but
yeah,
and then he also has a simulacrum.
Okay.
And this would be something like he is a lich, but he currently is able to pass as a like a normal person, and you probably gather that it's has something to do with the fact that he was able to cast magic from before this, before the meteor, rather.
One sec. Are you sure you mean simulacrum, or do you mean like the 8th level spell clone?
I was doing simulacrum.
Alright, because like a simulacrum wouldn't really like take over. Like it doesn't regain spell slots and stuff, right?
Correct.
Like, it's not really him.
Yeah. It's just yeah, it was just a lower level thing because I didn't want to give him clone before the meteor.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that, like, technically, like a simulacrum is small potatoes, compared to the actual guy.
Right.
And, like, it doesn't, he can't, like, presumably he can't like become the thing. But anyways, Okay, well, what are you guys doing? Are you guys like preparing to do this? Or are you guys like preparing not to do this, or what?
I mean, Tali would just be waiting for more information.
Alright, well,
She doesn't really know what to do about this because she understands that it's like extremely emotional, and the vendetta feeling is legitimate, but also she's just not sure if it can be done this way. You know? So she'd wait for Willow to come back and report findings. And
Same with Taratha.
So I'll tell you everything that Alistair told me.
And just one more thing, he would be willing to help you get an audience with him, but he doesn't want his name to be anywhere associated with it. So if you
that's why I didn't ask.
Yeah, but he would essentially say that if you want to have him invite Rashna over, it has to look like that you are invading his house, and he will like be hostile. He probably will pull punches, but he is going to like if he were to bring Rashna here and you two illegally, murk him because you're not going to get a duel with him. Alistair would fight back, but only for appearances.
Well, what if... Alright, so here's a plan. What if, like, we get Alistair to invite him over, they have, like, some sort of heated conversation, and then Alistair orders him to leave, but all the meanwhile, we go into his house, find the phylactery and destroy it, find the simulacrum and destroy it, and then we're waiting for him, and we ambush him when he gets home. That would be an
actually
plan.
would be good. I didn't even think of that.
Like, would that be a good enough plan for Tali and Taratha?
If that's the case, he would want Taratha to cast Modify Memory on him. If she has it.
So like he makes the plan to see him and then modify the memory so that he's like not culpable.
Exactly. And And if you're worried about a spell slot, I'll just say he acquires a scroll to do that. And takes it out of Taratha's pay. Just to be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best plan Tali's heard so far. For sure.
He does have a family, but the house is big. Just so you know.
Do you guys have any modifications on the plan that you'd maybe like to...
Wait, did you just say he has a family?
Yeah. But the house is big. So, like...
So?
Above table, you get the idea that you can take this out without the family seeing you, but... He has a wife and 2 children, both of which are, they're like 16 and 18.
I guess we would learn that from Alistair.
Yeah.
Those are questions that I don't know if Willow would necessarily ask. So, how you guys feeling about it?
This might be the best way of going about it. I don't know.
I mean, if you're hell-bent on dealing with this right now, then this is the only way to do it.
This is like some Schadenfreude for Eric, because Eric is like a really nice person and he would never do this. But I'm really trying to like roleplay Willow, who would definitely want revenge. Like this is like what Willow's character is like. I mean, then let's do it.
All right. Taratha, what is the memory that you want to create for Alistair to give him a fighting chance at, like, keeping out of trouble with Roshna?
It's a very interesting question. I think Taratha would ask Alistair what memory he would want.
He'll think, um, and he'll go, I want the memory of what you've been trying to convince me to listen to you about, and that I need to talk to him about that. And then I want the memory of you to of that I want to see you after this and talk to you so that you can modify my memory back.
Wait, I'm confused. What does he want?
So, because this whole thing, you haven't told him about the purple the arcane bane, and how you've been hinting at him to talk about this. So he wants the memory as if he had drunk the Kool-Aid, as if he needs to talk to this person about it. And then at the end of it all, he also wants the memory to talk to you, because right now he doesn't know if he's still going to trust you before or after this. So he wants it put in his head that he needs to talk to you tomorrow, so that you can kind of revert what you've done.
Okay.
And Tali, would you stock up on diamonds? Are there any other things that you want to get?
Yeah. I mean, she'd probably take some diamonds from Taratha if Taratha will give them to her.
How many diamonds does Taratha have?
I don't think I really have diamonds.
I mean, Alabaster. Wow, Alistair gave them a whole bag, right?
At the when you
That
left
was
for the
to
meteor.
Talia, though, right?
Yeah. So I don't
thought
know.
that I gave them to. But maybe I didn't. Okay, I have a bag of diamonds. Cool.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else anyone does to prepare? Does Willow talk to Zola?
It's tricky. I was gonna do it after I did this.
You don't have to. I'm just asking if you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to tell her, just until until this is done. That's what I should have said when I said I'll tell her tomorrow. I thought we were gonna fight him when I said that.
So we get to skip to evening?
Yeah, I am.
So
Let's do it.
evening. You sit and watch and wait until you see Roshna Ka heading out, as you expect to go see Alistair. And it leaves you, similarly as last night, with this conundrum. So tell me how you handle sneaking past the guards.
I think if we want, Willow could try to do like the little hop the island, sneak around thing, and then you guys could just dimension door in.
Does Taratha need to have been there before she can do that?
She's seen it in her vision thing.
And dimension doors just
It is
you pick
more
a place.
It's more than 400 feet to the study, but you can at least get inside the house.
500 feet.
Yeah, it's still more than that. Because right now it's almost 200 just to get from where.
Getting in the house should be a good start, right?
Yeah, like from this to inside the house is almost 200 feet as it is.
Does anyone know invisibility?
Yeah.
If you were willing to cast that as a second level on me, that would make it a lot easier for me to get over, because it's when you attack or cast a spell that it breaks, and so me swapping with my echo and doing that, all that stuff would not break invisibility. So it'd make it I could get into the house pretty easily, and then I could send you maybe ascending and be like, all right, I'm here, bamf to me or something like that.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
So if you cast invisibility, I am not going to make you make a check then.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
you are able to go straight inside with some swippity swappity. And Taratha bamps inside.
Once we get the sending, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I use one of my daily sendings to pop a message to my good friend.
Sounds good. You are inside the spiral staircase, and you can head down. I'll say that what's it called? Willow will go down first as the invisible one. Can you just make me a stealth check and add 20 to your roll for being invisible?
All right. You want me to add 20? That's fine. So that the base is 15. 15. Then add the 20 is 35. Did you get
What?
that?
I didn't know the final number.
35.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
If I'm adding 20.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was like a. Never mind. So you get to the bottom. The person. This is for flavor. The person did nat 20 their perception check. So you like step, a little too loudly on the final stair, and there's someone that is walking by. With like just kind of cleaning up, repainting the gold leaf on one of the pillars, and they look down and they stare at you for like a long time, and you're just stuck there having to wait. And it takes about like 2 or 3 minutes before you feel safe to forge ahead. But there is that person there. They are in the top corner of the room, kind of sitting on a large ladder, painting gold leaf. So it's not like they're actively looking, but you know that the other two are going to have to make a pretty decent stealth check to get by unnoticed.
All right. So what are my options here? Like, I'm sitting at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
I want to go to the second floor. Does that mean going? This was the question I was going to ask earlier, but I got sidetracked.
Yeah.
When you said third floor, did you mean the highest floor of this basement?
Sorry, third floor is the lowest.
The
So
lowest.
it's B3.
We're
So
all the way down the bottom. We're in B3, and we want to be on B2.
Yeah, so to get to B2, you have to go through the grand entranceway because there's a stairway, and you can only go down to the bottom. And then there's a grand, the grand hallway.
So it's kind of weird architecture, some Frank Lloyd Wright shit.
Yep. So
okay.
I wanted to have like a weird like necromancy wizard guy with an underground house. So it's a spiral staircase down 3 floors. Then there's a grand hallway that's made of marble with obsidian statues on either side and a red carpet. That goes about 100 feet to the main entryway. You open those double doors, and then it's almost like walking in the front door of a mansion at that point. And there's a grand staircase that goes up to floor 2 and then up to floor 3. Or rather, floor 1.
So what I want to do then, I suppose, is I'll probably want to distract this person, right? This waitstaff that's kind of hanging around. What is there like any kind of is there like a side room, like a kitchen or something like that?
Not right now. It's just a hallway with nothing on either side besides statues. It's statues, columns, and it's just for show. The only place where you get to like rooms on either side is in the grand hallway, which is on the other side of the doors. Grand entrance, rather.
There's just this one person?
Yep.
One second. Let me just look at the Star Mind Link ability.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to see if I like what you can speak telepathically to a creature. You don't need to share a language. As a bonus action, you can give that creature the ability to speak telepathically to you. Okay. So it's just this grand hallway. Okay, I'll do something weird. I'm gonna mind link with them, and I'm just going to kind of try to like almost speaking in like their own voice. I'm gonna say something like, "Did I leave the oven on?"
You don't know their voice.
That's just. Oh, I didn't hear them speak.
No.
Oh, fuck. I don't know what to do. I'll just go back up and tell them what's going on. There's one person down there. We just need to get past this one person, Taritha. What do you think? A mind link. Mind link. Everything's in a mind conversation if I'm talking.
One single person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can modify their memory to make them think they've left on like their oven at home. We could, hold person and throw them over a ledge. I don't know. You could do this old school and not rely on a wizard and just choke them out.
Yeah, choke a bitch.
We don't need to bring gendered language into this.
I'm sorry, that was just a joke. I'm sorry.
No,
That's a Dave Chappelle thing, right? Am I like? Does Wayne Brady have to? Is that how
Wayne
it goes?
Brady never smoked a bitch. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Shoot. Tolly, what do you think?
I mean, there are lots of different options.
Do like a Hansel and Gretel thing, like I leave some candy around and just they follow the candy and gives you time to. All I have to do is like distract them.
It's a grown-ass adult.
No, I was joking about the Hansel and Gretel. I was saying like something to distract them to get them to like look away while you guys like move through the hall, right? It's like what if I just like grab like something and like knock it over like in like nearby, like in another hallway, right? Or like something like that. And then they go to investigate and you guys just move on through.
Sure.
Because I'm invisible still, right?
Yep. It has been about 20 minutes at this point between swapping and.
Let's keep moving. Let's move really fast. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna head over to. So like we know we want to go up this one way. Is there like a way that's a little out of the way that I could knock something over, distract them a little bit, and then my friends can move through? Is that a possibility?
I'm sorry, one more time?
So, can I go down, knock something over, and then they go to investigate, and then my friends can move through? Is there like is there some place that's like a little out of the way that that would kind of keep them distracted if they went to go investigate?
It is a literal straight hallway with nothing on the side, straight going through. Like imagine this, but like 40 feet wide instead of 10 feet wide and 100 feet long, with statues on other side.
How tough does this person look? How tough does this person look?
They're a painter. They're an artist.
That doesn't mean anything. Have you ever met a clay worker?
Have you ever played D&D, Kelly?
Okay.
Was a painter.
All right, fine. They're a commoner. They are currently painting. They are currently painting gold leaf onto a column.
All right. You know what, Wayne Brady? It's time. All right. I am going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're just gonna do the old 1950s TV cowboy serial.
Would you ask one of them? Would you ask one of the non-invisible ones to do this for you? so you don't break
Why
invisibility.
would I ask? No, I mean, isn't the point that I can get close without breaking invisibility?
Yes, but by doing this attack move, you break invisibility.
Yeah, I assume that that's worth. Do you guys agree?
I don't know.
We just gotta keep things moving. We gotta make
I
decisions,
just love
right?
how
We
this
could also
commoner
just sneak
is
past.
stopping
Like,
the level 13
I just don't
part.
understand. We could also just sneak past them.
All right, I will go invisible. Be ready to choke them out. Non-lethal, just
Uh-huh.
choke them out if they spot you.
Okay.
How about that? And then I'll keep moving if you guys get by
Fine.
easy peasy.
That's fine.
Make a stealth check.
Oh,
Go ahead.
all right. Who's making the stealth check?
I mean, both of us,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, am I making a stealth check? And if
You
so, am I doing
would.
the normal invisible advantage, or am I
Yeah.
doing the plus 20?
It's the plus 20.
So 1d20 plus a d20.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gonna be a dirty 20, Kelly.
Okay.
For me, that will be 1939.
Yep.
I mean, these are your rules, so
No.
I'm just.
Well, I'm thinking that if you're just walking, like, and taking things slow, I like having the plus 20 because it makes more sense to me to be, like, super unheard and, like, you know. And then, Taratha?
9.
Alright. Willow, you watch Tali make her way, very easily. And then you see, Taratha strutting a little too confidently, and her robes like just make a like kind of like whooshing sound on the carpet. And the person, are you dressed in noble's clothes right now?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you said. Hold on 1 second. This is important, and I wanna make it clear now. Are you wearing the scarf? Because you did say that you wanted to wear like masks and stuff.
Am I wearing the mask? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't think I am. I think.
Oh my god. Come on. Corey.
I mean, it's kind of very suspicious to be wearing a mask.
Well,
it's not
doesn't he ask you
COVID
to come out
times
and
in
look
this fantasy world.
It's very suspicious to be in this person's house that we were not invited to. What do you mean? It's suspicious to be wearing a mask.
Just an artist, an artiste.
We can't have any witnesses. If they know who you are, we have to murder them.
Fine, I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah.
All right. So then
I mean, they're gonna know who I am, anyways.
Well, my question is, if you're wearing the mask, I imagine you're also wearing something that covers the Alcott clothes. So.
Yeah.
So then
I mean, if she wanted to do it a different way, there would have been a very long conversation between Taratha and Tali about why that's stupid, and Taratha needs to fucking make that not be a thing.
So then, the artist will freeze and, hey, who are you?
I'm back.
The artist, saw Taratha, and...
Gertrude. Who are you?
Do you have an appointment?
You're stammering. I asked for your name. Your name, please.
Tristan.
You sound very unsure of your own name, Tristan. Are you sure you're supposed to be here?
Yes. I was not expecting anyone
Is he painting? Or is he like sculpting? What is he doing?
He's like laying on gold leaf and like using like and just kind of pasting over it. It's sort of like painting, but it's you lay gold leaf and then you it's like the paper mache sort of style thing. And he'll go, Master Ka said no one else was going to be coming through here, and my work would be uninterrupted.
And I'm not interrupting you. You interrupted yourself in this silly, frankly, gaudy exercise. Really, gold leaf? Paper mache? Really?
I only do what I'm commissioned.
Oh, so you have no artistic freedom. So really, a child could do this. Frankly, you're disturbing, my
Jesus,
artistic
Teresa.
ability
Holy
here.
shit!
Anyway, I must be on my way. I have a meeting, and I'm just quickly passing through.
With who?
You, Master Khan, of course.
Of course.
And you, if you wouldn't mind some unsolicited advice, I'd really recommend going to an art school. Take one class, maybe two.
Christ. Willow, because you're so close, give me an insight check.
You got it, Chief. Ooh, that's good. That's a 26.
The guy is constantly looking at the staircase as if he's going to head right upstairs the second Taratha goes through the door.
With a 26, do I kind of know why he would go? Maybe he's like, I'm gonna go home and deal with this emotions.
Oh, no.
Or is it like, I'm gonna go tell somebody about this nasty person that I just met?
You get the idea that he wants to alert the guards. Because he knows that Master Ka just left, so a guest would not have just showed up to see him while he's...
It's time for a surprise round.
Yup.
So I'm gonna put my arm around him, and I'm like, "Does he look right there?"
You're not near. But Willow is.
But I am.
You're like 30 feet away at this point.
Not near this guy.
Because you were trying to stealth away from him. It's a 40-foot hallway.
Well, I would imagine in like the conversation, I'm moving closer.
You could be, but you're definitely not in melee range of him right now. But Willow is.
Well, anyway, I just kindly why don't I just make another suggestion? Why don't you just stay here?
We're in combat. Willow had the
What
action ready.
suggestion?
Willow had the thing ready. You could say it as a free action on your turn.
No, he's gonna cast suggestion.
Oh, okay.
And I think Willow would wait a second, like for like the guy to like jump, right, and like start to leave, and then grab him, right? Because if they're still having the conversation, Willow is gonna let Taratha see if she can,
Okay, so what is this one more suggestion?
Just kindly suggest that you quietly go home and practice before you muddy the master's project.
And he rolled a 15 on that save.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yep. So, he will... You watch his face kind of get that little, like, his eyes go unfocused, and then he thinks, and he'll go, yes, of course, and he'll start packing up, and I must go home, and I need to practice this. I've clearly messed this up. I have brought shame.
And, just so I can check up later on your progress, where is it do you live?
I am hired by the Artisans Guild. You can find me there.
Thank you, Tristan. You have a great day.
And he will pack up and leave.
We're gonna need to modify that memory later.
Christ. Yeah. Yep. And you no longer have to stealth. Like, Willow is all set to choke him out, but then I'm
invisible, so nobody knows that I was about to choke him out.
Yep. And
I'm like standing there like a goblin or a ghoul over them.
I do also have locate creature, so it's cool.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
I would alert Taratha to that dog thing, and maybe suggest like a dispel magic on the location where I heard the howling?
Now, just a
If we're
question.
going up to that
Yeah,
floor,
like you
yeah.
can there's no one there at that moment. You open the door and you peer in and you don't see anyone in the this grand entrance area. There's like
Okay.
open marble floors, large columns, a grand staircase that goes up to floor 2, and then from there a second one that goes up to floor 1. And you go up the staircase and are able to, one second, I have to find the correct. There we go. So y'all are over here. You know that once you step right here, it's when the dog starts barking. So I'm gonna put Taratha one step back. So if you move forward any amount, you get barked at. I just want to see if dispel magic requires you to see it, because the
It does
hound.
not.
Awesome. Yeah, any
It just
creature.
says choose any creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Yep. So you
And
definitely
the range is
can.
120 feet.
So, Taratha, if you want to use Dispel Magic, it is a level 4 spell.
Yeah.
Or they can make the DC if they want.
Hmm.
I never thought I had dispel magic.
It's fine if you don't. It's fine if you don't. I have dispel magic, but
I also have dispel magic.
Hey!
So-
I only have it on my sword though, so I don't think it'll work on this hound because it'll start barking. Then I slash the hound and remove the dispel magic. It's like, no, not that good. But go ahead. If you,
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do it.
All
Pew, pew,
right.
pew.
So, roll me that check. It is 4th level, so the DC is 14. You make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
or you can cast it at 4th level and not have to make the check.
Cool,
Oh,
cool.
yeah, I'm sorry. Bert.
It's also fine because I rolled a 19. So
Nice. So, you're all set to, like, or rather, Tali comes in clutch, so we'll put her. And she just, her being the animal handler, she's casually weaving the somatic components, and as she her hand goes forward to cast it, the verbal command is just down, boy, and then you can tell that it is dispelled.
All right. So this is where Willow would lean on Taratha's expertise. Like, where would a wizard that was so powerful keep their simulacrum and phylactery as we continue on further into this study area?
Well, phylactery, I would not. You don't shit where you eat. So unless they're incredibly dumb, they're not going to have their phylactery here.
I'll let them know that Alistair said it was here and that Alistair has the other one.
It's somewhere in the house, but it's not necessarily in this room.
Oh, and if that's what you were saying, I'm sorry, I misinterpreted.
Yeah.
They're going to keep it in a very, very secure, or conversely, innocuous location. One of the two. It depends on how witty they are, really. As for the simulacrum, well, that takes up a bit more space than a phylactery. Also, we need to identify the phylactery. It's an item that typically is, of immense either personal or sentimental value to the person to the lich that has created it. It can be a wide range of things. Often you might think of it as like a little chess box or a vial or something, but it could literally be anything. So we don't know much about him because we're kind of brute forcing this. So yeah, get me within range. I can just constantly cast detect magic. That's the best thing we can do.
All right, sure.
Also, I learned from Tristan. Again, we need to go modify that memory. Masters left. My guess is that either the simulacrum is here and he is gone, or the simulacrum is gone and he is here. One of the two.
Good points. I assume that he would do it in person. It seems like something was important. he would send himself.
That or he never sends himself. The wizards are, we're an odd bunch.
This is true. Well, let's continue investigating, I guess, for now. Got to get some new information before we make decisions anyways, right?
Absolutely.
So we continue further. I'll take the lead, of course, because I'm invisible still for at least a little bit longer, right?
Mm-hmm. Are you going up to the door? Do you attempt to open the door?
Check for traps, I guess.
Yeah. Give me that sweet detect.
That's it. I think it's just a regular investigation check, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural 20.
Oh,
22.
Man. Beautiful. There are no physical traps, but because you got a nat 20, you can tell that this door has the spell alarm on it.
Oh, great. Is there another? Does it appear like there? I'll tell them that, and then I'll say, Does it appear there's another way in?
Not from here. Because you see on the other side, I would say it's a longer hallway than this, but you look, it's just wall and then another stair.
I'm just gonna. Is it okay if would it be metagaming if I look up the spell?
I would say that Taratha would know it. So and because you could communicate telepathically, you can look up the spell, but not because I think Willow would know it, because I know that Taratha would know it.
My question is he within a mile? Is Alistair's residence within a mile of this place? Because alarm only pings the person if it's within a mile, or it produces that audible alarm.
Yep. It is. You don't know if he actually. Yeah, it's been long enough, so it's outside. Alistair is more than a mile away, but not by much.
So, in theory, if we were to trigger this alarm, it would either cause that audible handbell sound, or it's not going to do anything because he's too far away.
10 seconds. It does both. It does alert the person if they're within a mile, and it produces.
Okay, so it would make this handbell.
Yeah.
1 sec. I'll see if within 60 feet. So
no, you choose whether it's alarm or audible. My mistake. But you don't know which one it is.
But it's only 60 feet, right? And we've come from like 60 feet away already. So if I were to use my echo, which goes through walls, to pop through the wall there and then to swap places or whatever and just look around, see if there's anyone on the other side of the door, like poke my head in. If there's no one there, we could just open it, right? And if it's audible, so what? There's no one here.
Mm-hmm. I will say though that if there is someone in there, they very
They're
well
see my head spoke out.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Not if I make a good stealth check.
I mean, it would be with disadvantage for...
Yeah.
Because you can't see on the other side. You're just popping your thing in.
Whatever. Should we just open the door, guys? What would you guys do?
Let's do it.
Again.
Sorry, what was that, Corey?
Dispel magic again.
I mean, that's a third level slot for what potentially is nothing. That's all. I guess Eric feels bad asking people to use their spell slots for things. So I generally... But if you guys want to use them, that's...
Is it necessary?
I don't think
so. Behind there? Let's do it then.
All right, I'll open the door.
You open the door, and an audible alarm sounds. You step in. 1 second. And I'm gonna tell you what you see. You see Rashna sitting on a nice plush chair with a book open in his hands. He looks up and sees the yeah. I just forget if they have blind sight or not.
And if the blind sight
They
goes
have
up far
true.
enough to
They have true sight.
I'll get fucked up.
Actually, can I ask a very important question right now?
Go for it.
Because I do have true sight,
You
what do I
can't see
see them
through.
as?
You can't see through walls right now.
Probably opened the door, but
But-
okay. And
I mean,
Yes.
they can walk in with me if they want, right? We're making this audible sound, so like this isn't like super
Okay.
duper sneaky.
So, but here's the thing: if you want to see what's in there, then you're gonna be like here or here. Which one?
Can you do that one more time? Sorry, there's a weird lag.
East or south of Willow?
Probably south.
Okay. And Tali, where would you be?
I would probably be diagonally south.
East?
To the east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taratha, you are able to see that it is a lich on the throne. And,
Hot.
That monster, he sent his simulacrum.
yup.
Our
I
plan
told you he would.
You were right. You were right.
And,
Cool.
Willow, you see, him very casually close his book and go, I knew something smelled wrong. Let's roll for initiative.
Nope.
Okay. Please, God, make this
17.
1 second.
Dang.
I should have summoned my stupid Echo Knight before we walked in. 17.
It's fine. There was like a series of things that I was going to do that I now have to do in battle, which is not where I wanted to
Were
be
there
doing
things
them,
that
but
you
it's
would have done before, like gathering
Did
up?
I mess this up by opening the door?
Well,
I mean, I told you to open the door. I just didn't expect him to be there. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna like. It would be pretty metagamey for me to be like. I mean, I and likely Tolly always forget to do aid before I walk into situations because it lasts for 8 hours, and I always forget about that.
I would say you would Tali would do that, so you can have aid. So what would you have?
And any death ward if you wanted to put that up, because you cast that
Yeah.
all the time, right?
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
Yeah,
let me
so you can
double-check.
say what you.
And death ward is really good against power word kill.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bye bye, my double spell slot. See you later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I would cast aid. Probably.
Oh my gosh, we all rolled like above 15, but I'm so terrified that we're not gonna get to go before him.
It's gonna be fine. Also, everyone has an extra 20
20,
points.
20 temp?
Yeah, 20 temp.
That's hot.
Yeah.
1 second.
Oh, maximum, right? It's an extra 20 maximum?
Yeah, it's an extra 20 maximum. Yeah.
All right. It's funny. The only reason that came to me was because I looked at my hit points and I was like, wait, I normally have 112. Why did I have 132 next to this? And then I was like, oh yes, previous aid.
Yes.
All
yeah.
right. And as the battle starts, there are these things. What am I looking for? Suits of armor. They're not suits of armor, but they are what's it called? Like taxidermied owl bears. And at the start of the round, you just and they kind of just come to life in this sort of grotesque, zombified way, and they start turning towards you. And 1 through 3 are going to move up. 5, 10.
I can't. We
15,
can see these
20,
things right
25,
now.
30. I'm sorry?
We can see these things right now.
Yes, you can. 1 second, I just
Okay.
forgot their movement speed. I'm just looking it up real quick. They have a movement of 40, so these are going to move up to y'all. And 1 and 2 are going to make an attack at Willow, or multi-attack rather. So 1 misses both times, that's single digits on the die, and 2 will probably also miss. An 18, does that hit you?
No.
Okay, so that's
Bounces
fine.
off my shield.
All right. So then wait. Yeah, so then all that's left is 3. That makes 2 attacks on Tali. Wow, bye-bye dice. Those were like all single digits with the exception of an 11. So those 3
Well,
move.
I mean, I am a cleric. It does actually make sense
Uh-huh.
that they would miss me.
God. And then next up is Tali. You have these zombified owl bears just shambling over to you like I say shambling, it's just in terms of movement, but they're fast as fuck. What do you do?
Okay. There are how many of these things?
6.
But there's the 3 that are like blocking us.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And how? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go over the map. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. So, Tolly, if I can move through a friend. Sorry, I have a pencil in my mouth. If I can move through a friendly square, um, whatever attacks of opportunity, I'll take them. Can I get 2 spaces ahead of where I am right now?
Yeah, like 1, 2. It would cost 10 feet, but you would be able to get here or east or west.
So
It's like
I'm waiting for
right
the
above,
lag.
right above B2 and B3. You're saying.
Really, I just want to be within 30 feet of B4. That's actually what I'm
Okay,
trying to do right
then
now.
you could do that without getting an AOO.
Cool. I am going to cast, or I'm gonna channel Divinity to turn undead.
Nice. What
Which is
level?
every undead within 30 feet.
Are
Nice.
those? Are they undead?
They
These
are
statues?
undead. They're
Wow.
taxidermied owl bears.
Oh, what the? I was way off in my brain.
What were you
I
thinking?
So
I took the picture as literal. I was like, oh, they're constructs. Like they, I must
Yeah.
have like just zipped past that description. I'm so sorry. I've been
that
reading a lot in my new subclass. I'm sorry.
that is them making a wisdom save. It's channel divinity. It's not a spell, so it's not like at what level.
Right. Oh no,
They just have
sorry.
to
I
make a
mean, because certain ones like I know that certain turn and destroy undead require a certain challenge rating. That's why I was asking.
Oh
But if
no!
this
As
is
an
just
action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails the saving throw, it it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turn creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can and can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can use only dash action or try
damn.
to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm just
They
gonna
are
start.
not CR half or lower, right?
Correct.
I figured as much.
All right. So Owlbear 1. That is a 9. 2
Oh, sorry,
is a.
1 sec. It's CR2 or lower.
They're CR3.
Okay, I mean that's fine. You
Yeah.
know, but I just
Because
want to.
that's destroy undead. Because I could have used destroy undead, but I figured they were too high level for me to do that,
Yeah.
so I just didn't even try.
But
So
destroy undead just happens whenever you use turn undead.
yeah.
It's
Got you. Yeah.
That's why I
So turn
was
undead does
making
not have
sure.
a CR. Destroy undead does.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanted to make sure. So 9, 14, 3. Then B4 rolls a 4. B5 rolls a 7. Jesus Christ. And a 4. They're all turned.
Hot. Cool.
Can they take reaction when they're
They
turned?
they cannot.
No, they cannot. And
Ooh.
Tolly, you guys have probably seen this before, but Tolly, actually, do we have Mind Link right now?
Yeah.
So Tolly will mind link and say, if you attack them, they will be able to attack you again. I don't know. Basically
Okay.
saying if you don't attack them, they can't do anything to you.
How long does that last?
1 minute.
Okay.
Like they can do things to. Technically, they don't have to get away from Willow and Taratha, but they have to get away from me, and they can't attack anything. So.
I just had a terrifying thought.
What?
If you have like if you had a portent wizard on your team and they like turncoated against you, they could like just be like, no, you fail that save to their ally. And then that's the end of you.
I mean, I do have one more channel divinity, and if Taratha can use her portent against a lich, then we could turn the lich.
I guess it depends. The portents could have both been high or something, right?
Yeah, it's
so...
true. It's fair. But anyway,
are you going to continue to move?
How far away am I from the lich now? Because I can't see the whole map, and so I just want to...
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And you have moved 10 feet.
I think I'm going to stay... where I'm at for now. Because I want to stay pretty close to my allies, because these dudes have to run away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they can't attack my allies anyway, but it just, I feel like, makes the most sense for now to just chillax where I'm at.
Okay. The Lich is going to use a legendary action and rolls a 30 to hit Tali with Ray of Frost.
Do they all have disadvantage on me?
What do you mean?
I'm invisible.
You are.
The owlbears.
So yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that they all attack Tali instead.
They all missed me anyways. I didn't get hit.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't have hit Tali because there wasn't enough space.
Right, but I'm just gonna say they attacked someone else or whatever because it doesn't make sense for them to have.
Something I didn't even consider.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And the damage to Tali, 15 cold damage.
She will just smile back at him.
And that was Ray of Frost, right?
Oh,
correct.
Bitches!
What?
Sorry.
You're resistant to cold.
I'm resistant to cold.
Ganassi. Hey,
Yeah.
but I think your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
It
for
is.
next turn.
Cool. That's fine. So resistance does half, or how does resistance work?
Half damage.
Cool. So
and
is it 7 or 8?
Always
round
go
it
higher.
down.
Or lower. I can't remember.
You round down. And then the next question is, who did you death ward Tali, and if so, who did you death ward?
Myself.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I'm the person that can revivify everyone else. So...
Yep. No, I just wanted to make sure.
You go, girl.
I don't have enough 4th level spells to be able to do it for everybody.
So the magic number, right? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Is 100, right?
Correct.
Willow.
100 or less.
Right, Willow. Talking to myself. All right.
And go ahead.
Who's next?
You are.
All right. I am so mad that I have all these bonus actions, and I only have one bonus action turn. I have to bonus action turn on Flame Tongue, bonus action Boots of Speed, and bonus action create my shadow thing. So I will bonus action Boots of Speed and bolt up to that fucker.
Nice.
As that's 60 feet of movement. He's only 50 feet away, so I should be able to get right up on. And so like I click the heel and like lightning courses through the leg and just zooming down the thing. I get up next to him. How does he look?
I mean, pissed.
I would probably be mad too. So I don't have advantage on this first strike, even though I'm invisible, because he has true sight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna attack him 3 times with undoing.
Nice.
Because I'll throw that away when I actually have a bonus action to spare. But here we go. 3 attacks. Fuck. Okay, so the first one's a 13, the second one's an 18.
The 18 hits.
All right, and then the third one is higher. It's a 23.
Sounds
wait,
good.
plus 11, 26. What the heck? I cannot
Oh
math.
wait,
Holy
hold
crap.
on. It will reaction shield to make its AC 23.
Plus 5.
Yeah.
So it still gets hit by the third attack.
Yeah. So sorry, I just forgot that it would have shielded on the second attack.
All right, so that does 11 damage. Now my question is,
Mhm.
ooh, no, I won't do it yet. I have the dispel magic from undoing that I could possibly do, but I'm not going to do that this turn. I'll do that on another turn. And since he's shielded, I'm not going to action surge.
Okay.
All right, so I'm done.
And then it is going to use his frightening gaze. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Natural 19, 27.
You are not
Yeah.
afraid of him.
Get fucked!
Next up are the Burrs, and they're
Wait,
going.
I thought that me and
Did
Tareth-
everyone seriously roll amazing initiative or something?
Yes, except for
Yes.
the Lich, who rolled really
Oh,
poorly.
I thought that Taretha rolled a 17,
Yeah,
and so did I.
yeah. I figured I would break it up between because they also rolled a 17.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so I
You
figured.
can see how that's confusing for
I
me.
have a plus 4 to dex. How am I not going?
Sorry. They're going to all disengage and move towards the Lich.
Help us,
5,
Daddy!
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Scary Grim Reaper lady is
5,
here.
10,
Hey, she's not
15,
Grim
20,
Reaper no more.
25,
Okay,
30.
okay.
And then B2.
Scary cold person.
5, 10,
Devil
15,
lady.
20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
And it's just it's save or suck. They don't make the save at the end of their turns. With channel.
Yeah, nope. It's just once and then for a minute.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is Taratha.
I'm going to saunter up until I'm 30 feet away from the Lich.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look him dead in the eyes. Get it? Dead in the eyes. I'm going to say, you know what? This is really unfair.
Actually,
Look at
can
this.
you? I just want to make sure. You can move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, just right in there. Go for it.
B3
Okay, perfect.
also can't move forward because it can't move through me.
Right.
So, I'm going to say, look him dead in the eyes, and I'm going to say, this is really unfair for you. Here, let me help you out, and I'm going to cast Haste on the Lich.
What?
Yep, I'm casting Haste on the Lich.
Okay.
I know what you're doing. You're evil. You are just pure evil.
Do I want to know what's going on?
Nope.
Yeah, well,
Voluntarily end concentration on a spell whenever you want. This doesn't require reaction or anything. It has to be.
Wait, I would say that
it-
isn't Taratha the one
wording
concentrating?
says choose a willing creature you can see within
Yeah.
range.
that's why I'm buttering him up. Don't ruin my shit.
Okay.
He's going to roll an int check on that one.
And I'm going to roll a deceptive check.
Okay.
My deception, that's going to be a 21.
They rolled a 23.
She didn't say anything, Eric. Could have tricked her.
Listen, you would have
Well,
tricked the DM, not the Lich.
It would have
Yeah.
equated to the same thing.
No.
And that's all that matters.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Nope.
Anyway. Do you do anything
Sorry,
else?
I guess.
You know what? I'm adding a die. I'm adding die to that shit. Fuck that. I'm adding
What?
my... What do I need? I got 3. I'm going to make it a 24.
Okay.
You're so evil.
I
man.
know. Fine.
I really want to do this.
It is hasted.
desperately want to do this.
It is hasted.
Cool. And then I say, not really. And then I'm going to drop concentration.
Okay.
He is now. I'm going to read you exactly what it
Fuck.
says. When the
Yeah.
spell ends, a target can't move or take actions until after its next turn, as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it.
Ridiculousness.
And I don't know if that. I think that also affects legendary actions. So, yeah.
I
If
would
you wanted
argue
to use
not.
its legendary actions.
I would argue not
You get them out
legendary
of the way.
actions, but you definitely don't get. Definitely
Yeah,
won't get its turn.
It doesn't say reactions, right? So you could make the argument that it can do like reactions or legendary actions.
So, yeah.
Can't move. Legs are jelly.
Yeah.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah. That's incredible. It's its turn.
I mean, you basically use a 3rd level spell in a deception check to cast Hold Person.
No.
But...
Yeah.
I just make it that was beautiful.
No, that was really good. Next up are Owlbears 1 and 3. That they have to move to get as far away, correct?
Yeah, so when I said B3, I was talking about when they moved initially. They can't move through me. They can't move towards me in any way. So B3 would have had to move the opposite direction that
I'm just
they
gonna
did.
say they're down the stairs at this point. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
And then this would disengage. I'm just gonna say they're all just running and cowering in the back. And then next up is Tally.
Back up to the top.
Yeah, I'm gonna come forward 5, 10, 15, 20.
So he had his turn and he just was like, oh.
Kind of like he can't take turns or move or
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I want to move in front of B3 so that all. Actually, no. Can I
like go back here?
Hold on. Oh shit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I wish I could like. Oh, they're moving now. Okay. I didn't realize B1 and B2 got that far. In that case.
Kill this son of a bitch.
Yo, I need to tell you what I had planned for this shit, and y'all just ruined it. I love it, though.
So I want to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That would be one space diagonally northwest of B4, so that neither B4 or B6 can move towards the Lich, but have to move away.
Sounds good. And then do you do anything?
Yeah. I'm tempted to cast Silence. Because that was, in fact, the original plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know how much it sucks to be a wizard in a cone of silence? It is the fucking worst.
I
it's only a
wouldn't know.
second level illusion.
Wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah. I would want to make sure that Teritha is not in that range.
What level spell is it?
2.
Counterspelled.
Cool, that's fine. I'll do it again.
Now he can't shield.
Yeah.
Oh, he just used counterspell?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh god.
That uses up his reaction, so unless
it's
he does a legendary
important
action.
when fighting a lich that
Jesus
you have 2
Christ.
casters who can cast.
Well, that's... Well, it's also... I had the simulacrum to kind of, like, be the sort of in-between, and, like, I had something fun.
We got rid of it.
You did. You made this from, like, what I was worried about to be a TPK to, like, nah. Like,
I
6...
get TPK'd.
Like 6 CR3 plus a lich plus a lich copy. Like...
Dying as Joy was really fun. That was
what?
Wonderful.
No way would these 3 people not, like, go in with a plan that splits some of this shit up. Also, you put undead in front of a cleric who hates undead.
I know, but
just,
that's...
Like, fuck that noise.
I know. I knew that this was going to be a part for Tali to shine, but I wasn't expecting this. You're steamrolling him.
Turn on undead's a bitch. What can I say?
Yup. And then,
Alright.
do you have a bonus action?
I don't think so.
Can you spend one of my bonus actions?
No.
um.
By the way, Kelly, I looked it up. You can't use legendary actions while incapacitated, which is under the heading of what
Haste does not incapacitate you.
Yeah.
It specifically does not use the word incapacitate.
I'm gonna find a way around this.
Not today, you won't.
We want him to use up his legendary actions anyway.
Well,
on the small stuff.
He gets like 3 legendary actions, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't use one while he was Wave of Lethargy. So you actually got what you wanted. Because it didn't use one after your turn.
No, that's because it used 2.
Used 2 for the thing. Yeah,
so
that
it used
means
all
that
3. So it's re-upped. It's just waiting for. I mean, it could have done it after the Owlbears, but it's gonna do it after Tali.
That's fine.
But it wouldn't, because it can't move and take action after its next turn. He had his next turn.
I mean, like, Tali also wants to take some of the aggro, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of what she's trying to do. She's trying to piss him off because she is the one that can survive most of his shit.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, is like, she's purposely like, look what I just did to your minions, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're telling him, get rid of Tali, then you got your Owlbear zombies back, baby.
Yeah. Also, she is just like staring at him. As my bonus action, could I like provoke?
You can say something, but I would say mechanically.
Yeah, sure. She's gonna be like, "Wow, thought this would be harder."
Nice.
And she's just, and then she just like waves at all of the undead who are like running away in fear of her.
Nice.
So.
I'm going to need Willow and Tali to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I'm good at that. And that's a nat 20,
this
baby.
This is a legendary reaction?
Yup.
For a 25, nat 20.
13, though I might look up Indomitable depending on what is going on. Like,
it is casting Disrupt Life.
What are they attempting to do to me?
It is Disrupt Life. So
okay, I'm not gonna use Indomitable.
Okay, so you are going to take.
Because I'm worried about like a dominate creature or something like that.
Yeah, you are going to take 24 necrotic damage. Tali, you take 12. Okay. You take half on a save. If you have resistance, you can half that again. But just so you know.
Mosquito bites. She will say that out loud if you allow her to.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Next up is Willow.
All right, let's go. No reactions, eh?
Yup.
Just go on it.
You're just gonna murder.
Third, I gave you a free round.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I want to. I'm going to Action Surge, but I'm trying to think if I want to summon my Echo and attack with Undoing every time, which will do less damage, or get the Flame Tongue out and attack with that every time, but then I don't have the Echo.
It's up to you. It's
do
AC.
What does more damage?
Its AC is 18. Just to make life easy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna summon the Echo because Unleashed Incarnation. When you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional melee attack from the Echo's position. Which means if I take 2, I'll be taking 4 attacks a turn. I can use that. I can't use that infinite times. I can only use it 3 times a day. Just so you know, Kelly, that I can. But all right, so poof behind him, Zinnia wielding the Undoing. All right, let's do this. Poop, 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 poop. I'm gonna Action Surge. That's 8 attacks.
Jesus Christ.
All right, undo. So the first 2, 15 and 22. Second 2, 8. Should I just tell you if they hit?
Yeah.
If they're above 18. Okay, so that's 2 more hits, so 3 hits. Next 2, both hit 12 and 14 on the dice. Next 2, 1 hits. So, and then we've got 1 last 2 for. We've had 2 misses so far, and They both hit. The lower one's a 19. So that means 2 misses out of 8. That's 6 hits.
All right.
And so then that's a D8 plus 9 on every single one. So let me get both of my D8s. So the first two, ooh, that's an 8 and a 7. So
Just tell me
18.
Just tell me how much it hurts at the end of
Math
all of
is
this.
hard. Okay, so 15 plus 8. All right, 15 plus 18 is.
Just throw it into Google.
32.
Okay. All right, we're at 32 on the first 2 attacks. The next 2 attacks, 8 and 4. So 32. It's 32 minus 3.
44. Oh, 32 minus.
So 29 plus 32 for the next 2. I'm rolling
Okay,
really,
hold on.
really well.
29
And then-
plus 32, 52, 61.
61, and then the last 2 is 18 plus 5, so 23. So you said 65 before?
61.
Wait, I'll just pull up the calculator, 1 sec. I got this. All right, 32 plus 29 plus 23. 84 damage.
Fuck,
Holy
dude.
shit.
Jesus.
All the anger, and Zinnia's slashing too, so it's just boop, 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 boop.
Yo.
Man, that's really cool. Whenever you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional melee attack, and then you action surge, so it happens twice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! All right,
Damn.
and now Zinnia's there behind the throne. Yeah, you put the Z there. My echo, and so awesome.
Yup.
Good to go.
It's,
Don't let him
is it
escape.
bloodied now? Like, what the fuck?
It is not bloodied.
It will be.
Just barely not bloodied, but it's not bloodied. These ones. Yeah?
Oh, it's a bonus action, a second wind. So many bonus actions. So many. All right,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Sorry, it's the owlbear's turn. They be running. So I'm just gonna say. Taratha, it is your turn.
You like that? Anyways, so I'm gonna open my.
gonna animate objects. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to, open up my satchel and throw out 10 spikes. Never really talked about how I cast it, but I imagine the moment like I throw them out, they just like take a bit of like they fall like an inch and then they glow and float right back up.
Nice.
Is he gonna counterspell me? What's he gonna do?
He can't.
He can't.
He
This is
uses
still that
reaction.
Anyways, I pre-rolled this. Thank you for telling the AC because fuck that. That's gonna be 54 damage.
Sounds good. He is
Fucking
now bloody.
straight.
8 of them. It's a +8 to hit. Like
He like sits up and then just cut, and then dart. He just it's like the end of Bonnie and Clyde. Like.
I am going to need everyone to make me wisdom saving throws.
Can
Also
I know?
good at that.
I know what effect is happening here.
Mass polymorph.
Mass.
Oh, fucking
See,
Jesus.
This is something where I might use Indomitable.
23.
29, baby.
I just have to look it up. 'Cause I don't actually remember how Indomitable works. I have to declare it before the roll, or can I do it after?
It's like
you reroll after you fail. That's great. All right.
Indomitable, phenomenal. God, it's so good.
Abdominal.
Natural 19 plus 8, so that's 27.
Fuck yes,
Jesus
guys.
Christ.
Jesus. We are killing it today.
But
Fuck.
If you guys didn't want to fight the Lich, I mean your characters, I know,
Hey, our characters, although cocky, are also like,
Well, we're a group of Hamlets here, let's be honest.
and in front of you, a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh.
Are we talking a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or are we talking fucking like oh my gosh, never mind. Continue on.
Wait, who turned it into a T-Rex?
The
He mass
Lich.
polymorphed us 3 and the Lich.
Okay,
And himself.
I have a question about polymorph. This is more of a kind of a general question. So, because it's not a wild shape, and when you get transformed you turn into something through polymorph, do you still retain like the legendary actions of the boss and things like that? I've always been unclear about that because I know wild shape you would, because that's specific to druids. Because this is not a wild shape.
The way I personally do not know. The way that I imagined it to continue making it still like an engaging and fun fight, it still gets to make a single attack. So it only gets one instead of the three.
All right, that's fair. It has to
Does
maintain
it have its
concentration.
legendary resistances?
You don't know that.
Well, fuck this shit. Now I have to fight through another health pool, guys.
No, darts. Every one of your darts, it has to make a con
I
save.
know. And now it is its turn. That's the end of its turn. Owl bears are just no longer in the picture. Tali, it is your turn.
So can it cast and shit while it's a fucking T-Rex?
No. It is
No.
a T-Rex. Oops, wrong
And it's
thing.
dumb like a T-Rex. Its saves are crap. Mental saves, at least. Polymorph again.
Okay, so I so I have a question.
Yeah.
If all of its saves get shitty as a T-Rex, and it's undead.
It is not undead as a T-Rex.
Okay. As a T-Rex, it is not undead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to decide if I do all of the points, like if you go from polymorph to regular and you have more points done to you than you actually have, does that then go on to your person?
Correct.
Like, so like if I took out the T-Rex and then extra damage. Okay. He's changed the game with this T-Rex thing going on.
Honestly,
Wizard.
hold your turn until after I send 10 darts at its face.
Okay, because I now have 6 level spells. And I also have Thunder Wave.
Wait, did we
I
level
also-
up?
No, this is like from last time we leveled up.
Yeah, we're level 12, so, you know. Right? You should have.
And
You cast contingency. Yeah, you know you have level 6 spells.
Oh no, I thought we might have hit level 13, in which case
no.
I would have level 7
No.
spells, which
And
would
I
change the
can
game
do
dramatically.
max damage with thunder or lightning, so I could just like cast out a whole lot
Ooh.
of stuff. Just like, so that's why I was wondering. I will hold until Taratha is done.
Dope.
So it's Owlbear's turn?
They're out of the
Art's
picture
gonna
at
make
this
an
point.
attack,
So
or
no, because
something?
she delayed.
Okay.
So I don't count that towards legendaries. Willow. Because
Do you want me to attack animate objects? Or should I wait too?
I would wait, because it's just another health pool. Like,
Okay, can I hold my turn
Yep.
until...
I'm going to say
after-
both of you hold your turns until Taratha. So now you're permanently changed in the order. I'm just also going to take out the owl bears because they have been spending their turn, and when they are what's it called? By the time a minute passes, who knows what's going to happen. So
Beautiful. Great
Taratha?
job, Taratha.
what is the T-Rex AC?
13.
Oh.
You're fucking kidding me.
I am not.
How
It's
do you
just a
even miss?
it's
You
just
know-
a health pool for him.
Oh my. Okay, this will be fun because all
So-
10 just hit, which is a baseline 40 damage. God damn it.
Okay, you tell
Okay,
me
so-
that. Well, first let's just see.
Well, the thing is, it has to go through each one.
So I'm gonna make 10, and we're just gonna I'm gonna assume that at some point it's gonna fail. So just give me 1 second.
Right, but yeah,
Okay,
it just
so
depends
one
on which one, because that'll be
passes.
the carryover damage.
Fucking Christ! On the second roll, it rolled a nat 1.
Yes!
Okay, so that means what, 9 hits? Okay,
Yeah.
9 hits. So now I'll do that damage. So that's going to be 61 damage.
Oh.
I'm going to
He could
say.
shield,
Oh yeah, he could.
because the other ones might not
Wait,
have hit. 'cause
yeah,
his
the
AC
other
went
ones.
back up to 18
You're right.
once
After
that-
the second one, yeah. So did you save the last 8 rolls?
Why
Imagine-
would I do that? I'm just gonna re-roll them.
Yeah, and
that's
on the third one, it is going to shield. So just bear in mind with that. So
Does
it's
that
Can't
use a
cast
reaction?
counter spell. It does.
What?
Yeah, I'll just use my
So-
reaction to counterspell the shield because I don't want to fucking do that.
Yes.
Incredible.
Okay,
Oh my
with his new
God.
AC of
18.
what is 18 or whatever,
Yeah.
instead of all 10 hitting, only 8 are gonna hit.
Oh no.
Boo-hoo.
You would have had to re-roll.
No,
the last 8.
I've been re-rolling them.
Yeah, but you would have only rerolled the last 8.
Yeah.
So the first 2
Yeah.
hit the T-Rex, then the last 8, a certain amount hit.
Yes. Okay, let me do that. Do.
And wait, there's just darts flying everywhere.
I
For
know.
the folks at home, there's just darts everywhere. They're hitting the
Every
T-Rex and they're hitting
fucking
the Lich.
which
The
way.
Lich tries to throw a
53
shield,
damage.
it's like, no, you're taking the darts. All right, 23.
Oh.
53. Let's go.
So the Lich falls down onto the floor unconscious.
Wait, seriously?
It had 200 HP.
He gone?
Yeah. You did 84, then Tali did like
I
50
wanted to
something.
get him to just the point of death and then spit on him and walk away.
Well,
but
no,
never
no,
mind.
that's why I said he's unconscious. So Willow can still have her moment.
I'm gonna say, hey, we need his phylactery. You need that information.
What does Willow do?
Wait, okay, so my turn. He's unconscious. There's still the undead owlbears around. What do I... Oh my gosh. He just was darted
Does that
to death.
T-Rex just like have no HP? Like,
No,
what
they
does that
have
mean?
they have
They
like
had
a
to
100.
maintain concentration on the
Yeah.
spell while in T-Rex form. And he failed.
Awesome.
Yup.
I'll look to Tali and Taritha. What is it? What's my vibe check?
We need his phylactery, so killing him here doesn't matter. We need his phylactery.
But your character would know that phylactery takes days to
Yeah.
reincarnate the body, so we would have days to go find the phylactery.
Yeah, it's like 1d6 days or whatever.
Yeah, but finding phylacteries is not easy or fun business, so...
You think he's just gonna tell us if we wake him up?
I don't know. I really don't know. But we have leverage now.
What's our leverage?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if this is a conversation you guys want to try to have with him, I'm all aboard.
Look, we're leaving town tomorrow. We may not have time to find his phylactery. So what we've done here could easily be reversed while we're Gundam fighting.
Yeah, but the only question is, like, Willow's thinking through this, and correct me if I'm wrong, DM or other players, but we've got Lich, who's almost about to be dead. We wake up Lich. We tell him, where's your phylactery? Or we'll kill you. But if they tell us what the phylactery is, then we're going to kill them, and then we're going to go destroy the phylactery.
I have a really important question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If the Lich's body is dead, and I cast Create Undead on it, do I have the Lich as a follower for a day?
I don't think so. It's a challenge rating 21.
Yeah, liches are a
Yeah.
bit different because they're hyper intelligent. And I think the integrity of like the turn undead stuff is that the undead are generally stupid.
But create
But it's not
undead.
turn undead.
Yeah.
I'm talking create undead.
It says choose up to 3 corpses of medium and small humanoids. Each corpse becomes a ghoul under your control.
So it would just be
That's
a
what I'm
ghoul.
asking.
It would have the stats of a ghoul.
Yeah, would it
and
be a ghoul?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm not saying we get a Lich to like fight things. I'm saying we can take its body and and it's with us, right? Does that make sense?
It's with you,
Like, I
but
don't-
it's for all intents and purposes, it's a ghoul, and you no longer have Rashna.
You can't talk to it. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I understand that, but like, how does a phylactery work, right? Like, does it need the body in order to, like, still be living?
No,
like, how does
the
that...
spirit just has to be out of the body. So by doing create undead,
Yeah.
you're just pushing the spirit out quicker. I mean, but he's making death saves. Let's just.
Here, wake him up.
Oh.
I can force him to talk.
Did he nat 20 a death save?
No, he nat 1 and then 5 because there's no way that no more than 2 turns.
have gone
While you
by?
were.
So he's dead?
Yeah.
He does
Go
not.
eat, Crystalie. Are you
You
serious?
can revivify him if you want.
No.
I don't think that would work.
Now is the quest to find the phylactery, right? Like that's
Yep.
that's what we're doing now, right?
That's what you're doing now.
We've just beat a CR21 Lich, and I took 24 damage.
Yeah.
And I think I took the most.
I mean, I'm not even mad about how that fight went. Like, you all did, like, really cool stuff. If we had the simulacrum with them, I had some pretty gnarly stuff. Because, Corey, what the advice I was asking for the Friday crew was actually for you all.
Oh, I figured.
But
Why didn't you do the whale thing then?
because I checked the things on it, and the whale is too high of a CR. And it didn't have the opportunity to lift itself up. It would have done it if it had its buddy with them, but did not have it.
Okay, so so now we have two worries in our mind. Simulacrum is gonna come home. We want to kill the simulacrum.
Nope,
No,
Simulacrum is...
it's dead.
No, wait, what happened? Simulacrum's gone.
Yeah. I would say by
Oh, wait,
killing
really?
the spellcaster. Or, let me see.
Google.
Yup.
This just says the simulacrum lasts until it drops to 0. It doesn't say anything about
That is true.
But I think that there's a slight thing I just want to note, and this is why I brought up the simulacrum rather than clone as like a question mark earlier, is that simulacrum is like kind of like a facsimile of a person. It's not like a copy. And so, like, right, the simulacrum is like friendly to you and to creatures you designate, right? It looks like you, but it is not you.
Right, like, but it's a bit of a homebrew thing where I wanted it to have like the stats of the simulacrum, but the smarts of a clone. So it
That's
functionally,
totally
because I didn't want you to fight a lich and a literal clone. So that's.
I mean,
why.
obviously, we probably could have taken 2 liches. I'm just saying.
I hate you.
I'm joking.
So you want to try?
Simulacrum actually is still alive. So.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, simulacrum is running around.
But we just cast a spell magic on it or something, and it'll go away. Or
I
just,
have a spell magic sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not that big of a deal. And like, well, looking over the body, well, if we didn't pick her, we could have, forced him to say something. But,
You could speak with undead if we have that prepared. Speak with undead doesn't have to answer the truth, unfortunately. It can lie.
That's why you need Soul Cage.
All right, well, so the hunt is on. So we hunt until the simulacrum comes home. We kill the simulacrum. That's right. Is that our plan?
Do you have
the
like
plan is to find this phylactery?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Did I say? Yeah. So find the phylactery and kill the simulacrum when it comes home. So let's start looking around. If I were a big, powerful wizard, where would I put my phylactery? Big, powerful wizard who just killed a big, powerful wizard easily.
Like literally 2 rounds. Legendary actions no longer fucking matter. Charlie came out of this with 19 points of damage.
I think it helps that me and Tali were eating up those reactions. Like there was no count. Like stuff wasn't getting counterspelled.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is detect magic. Just basic shit.
Yeah.
Let's steal this guy's magic items. They could be useful in Gundam fights against angels that we need to kill later. It's for the good. It's for the greater good.
I don't have loot prepared for that. I will give you. I will say that yes, there's definitely loot that you can get here. But I don't have that prepared right now.
That's totally.
I was too busy making 50 NPCs yesterday.
So, I mean, that's for the campaign that's not going to be on it for a couple months. So time priorities.
Whatever.
I will look around and see if there's like a safe or something like that, because Willow would imagine that maybe that's where they would keep a phylactery.
Just cast detect magic.
Yes, we'll let that go first. The detect magic.
I mean, there's a lot of magical items here. I'm gonna just say like Taratha, walks around this entire place, opens things up, moves around. There's a lot of like odd and magical things here, but none of which are radiating phylactery. And I'm going to say that eats up like a minute and a half, just to like just blow through running around.
Sorry, say that last part one more time.
You kind of blow through running around this immediate area, and there are no phylactery vibes that you're getting. You're seeing some low level magic stuff, you know, things
Cool.
here and there, but I feel like the phylactery would be very magical and it would kind of glow brighter.
This is entirely off topic, but I just realized
Mm-hmm.
that today is Doctors and DM's third birthday.
Hey, happy
Yay!
birthday!
Um, yeah, this is year 3. We're officially
Yay!
walking into year 4. It's crazy.
Beautiful.
Anyway, continue on.
Well, locate object. Let's do that.
Can I do it with an object that I don't know what it is?
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. So it's up to DM if it's familiar.
I would say with a wizard in the party and having been on like trips, especially like the one ball or whatever Bahal, it would be familiar to you. And what's the
Hot
range?
dog. 1,000 feet.
Oh.
So if it's here, we see it, right? Because like we can see 1,000 feet into here from outside of here.
Yeah, so it is in here. It is on the first floor, and it is stationary.
Cool. I'm gonna go sneak around and let's find it.
Maybe invisible first.
Let's just dimension door to it.
I mean, Dimension Door can only do 2 of you.
I can wait behind.
Okay. Does Tali and Taratha Dimension Door?
Do you want it, Tally?
Sure.
Might be better to take it slow.
It might.
Just like because we do have invisibility, right? Like put invisibility on Tali, she just goes up, finds the phylactery, and takes it. Because the upper floor could be where the family is staying, right, or something.
It could be.
It very well could be.
The family's like, where are all these owl bears coming from?
I imagine that they went downstairs. I imagine they went downstairs instead of upstairs. So it's really the
So what if we just
the
like,
wait
made
staff.
it look like this was a random undead owlbear attack? He was a bad witch, and the owlbears mauled him. I mean, darts aren't going to be that different than an owlbear bite. His body is probably mush. Like,
How do you go to the phylactery?
I would advocate that we sneak there.
everyone or just you?
Everybody? Or
Okay.
just me? I don't care. Could be one person. Could be all the
Let's
people.
do it.
All right, I'll sneak.
Stealth
Let's be
checks.
sneaky. Nat 20,
Oh
bitches!
my god.
What? Yes!
I'm worried. I'm worried. I'll roll the luckier dice.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's good. 21.
Yep.
15.
Yeah, all of you are able to stealth upstairs. You are led to what definitely looks to be living quarters, and there is a door that you have to enter in order to be able to go to the room with the phylactery.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and go in there.
Inside is a sleeping person. It is
That's
a
cool.
16-year-old just snoozing in bed, unaware.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the phylactery and
Is
pick
it
it up.
his kid?
Yup.
Oh, that is so rude! Oh my god.
I'm gonna turn to Willow and I'm gonna say, "This one's on you."
Can we kill the kid and revivify the kid?
Oh my god.
And then the phylactery is destroyed.
I don't know if that's how it works. I gotta be completely frank.
Tali would be able to confirm that the phylactery is inside of the kid.
Okay.
Okay, wait. So it's not the kid, but it is inside.
It is inside
I'm
of the
just gonna
kid.
note he did this, not us. Like. Okay, so it's inside. It is not the kid themselves, but it's inside them.
Yep.
So the humane thing to do is to knock them to 0 hit points, go digging around surgically, and get it out, and then heal them back up.
Oh my god. Okay. Sure.
Does anyone know the sleep spell?
Wait 1 second.
Sleep isn't actually
Wait
great.
1 second.
I just want to remove as much pain. That's what the sleep spell's for. It's not about it being useful right now.
Does anyone know if when you cast banishment, magical items go with it?
I think it
they
goes.
do.
Yeah.
I think it's the creature and everything they're carrying.
Yeah. And I would argue
wait.
they're.
I have a question. Could you just cast Dispel Magic on a phylactery, and then it becomes inert?
I would say it requires a roll, because like I feel like that's like a 9th level.
Yeah,
thing.
that's totally
Yeah.
fair.
It depends, because there's actually like preventative measures you can. I imagine a lich has taken on it to make sure Dispel Magic doesn't work. I can't
I
recall
would
them off the top
say
of my head.
in
that is a
this
thing.
case, I would allow you to try, but it's going to be a level 9 spell.
So how does that? What do I have to roll in order
You'd-
to?
You would roll a
You
d20,
would roll.
add your wisdom on, and
Yeah,
if
but
it's
what do I have
19,
to beat?
19.
19 fucking straight, cause that is a 23.
Okay. Yeah. You very
Damn, you're
quietly.
just like not rolling below an 18 today.
You are
I
the
literally haven't. I don't think I've rolled under 15 today.
I sure have. Bowie, stop it.
I literally don't think I've rolled under a 15 today.
Amazing.
On a day.
Hey, quit it.
So
Quit it.
there are no witnesses. We just dispelled the thing.
Yup.
So,
Yep.
so
Bowie.
DM, we have confirmation that the phylactery is inert.
Correct.
So now there's only the phylactery that Alistair has. Now I'm gonna say Will is slightly concerned because now I don't know what Alistair does when they've got such an important and powerful bargaining chip. But I'm gonna assume they're gonna do the right thing. Alright, so now
You know, one, we should try that. Two,
Bowie.
we still
we
have
should
to
try
go
that.
deal with the artist.
we have to deal with the artist and we have to deal with the simulacrum.
Yeah,
Yep.
but we have to deal with the artist now.
Actually,
like
do
right
we
now.
have to deal with the simulacrum?
I mean, if you just send to Alistair, maybe he's powerful enough to knock it down for you, but you would have to.
I have one more sending. I will send to Alistair.
Oh, but his.
And I will.
Actually, sorry to backtrack. He is on Roshna's side right now because Taratha modified his memory, so it probably would not be a good idea to do that.
We could catch him on the way back and just put snuff him out. Or we could wait till he gets here and stuff him out. It becomes snow, the simulacrum,
Yeah.
when it's the.
Now here's a question. We could play it out next week, but I also imagine that if you're able to get the Lich without issue, like you probably still have enough juice in you to get the simulacrum, because it only has 100 HP.
Yeah.
So
And the Dispel Magic that hits a 17, which we know Leia's gonna hit, just instantly destroys
Yeah.
the simulacrum.
and I also know that Taratha has 18 for Portent. So between all of your resources, I'm going to say
We'll
that
just do the Dispel Magic one then, right? Taratha
Yeah.
just walks up to Dispel Magic Portent, it's gone. It just turns to snow.
yeah.
So we'll catch it while it's walking home.
Are you okay with that, Taratha?
I don't have Dispel Magic.
Oh, I
I
thought you
do.
did.
I have one more.
But you can portent when someone
Yeah.
else makes a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We need to go deal with the artist.
Okay. But here's the thing. You it would have to be the next day when you do that because
Why?
you don't know where he
We
lives.
need to do it now.
Locate person.
Okay. But that works for how far?
Hold on.
And how are
I
you
think
gonna?
that's also only 1,000 feet.
Fuck it, I'm gonna scry on him.
Okay. You scry and you see them walking on the way home. They live in one of the nicer areas in the middle of town, not far from the theater. And
How far away is he from us right now?
I would say like he's been walking for about a half hour now, so he's about a mile away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna rush out. I'm gonna fly up, and I'm basically just gonna dash to him.
I imagine that you do you have a dimension door in there to kind of get yourself past the guards easily?
Yup.
Okay. So, and are you going to take a friend with
Yeah,
you
I'm
or
leaving
no?
you two behind. I'm like, fuck this.
Well, at least take Tolly.
No, because I have to spell magic, so me and you can go deal with.
Okay, yeah, you deal with that while.
But we're gonna catch the simulacrum while it's walking home. I thought.
No, no,
Yeah, which is soon, right?
Oh, but then we can't do the portent thing.
we'll just say you're
That's
able.
okay.
Yeah, just for ease.
Okay. For
Um.
ease, everything works out.
Yeah.
I do like looking at the fight and everything. Is there any way we could make this look like it was the owl bears, or make it look like and like I don't necessarily need it to be like convincing. I want it to be muddy. The waters to be muddied, right? Like nobody knows what happened here, right? But like make it so it's not was maybe it wasn't us,
Yeah.
No, just leave him in his lich form.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
Yeah, he's a lich. I mean, people would be like, a lich? What the heck? Maybe maybe a god just smited him,
Smote.
Smote.
smote him.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
The past tense of
And the
smite is
god took all his
satisfying.
magic items too. How strange.
Amazing. So yeah, Corey, what does Taratha do to modify the person's memory? What does she implant? Because remember, it only what level
He's
do you
going
cast it
to
as?
remember this moment when he left is like he was so unbelievably frustrated with his ability to create art that he needed to go home and meditate on his life choices.
Now, as a pause, what level are you casting at? Because it's only 10 minutes at level 5.
Yeah, but he only needs to redo the 10 minutes that they were talking to Gertrude.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought it was 10 minutes in the past.
It
I get
doesn't
it.
last 10 minutes. It's a duration of time that you can change.
Okay, but it's like any point in time. It's just that particular
Yeah.
10 minutes. Okay, then.
Yeah, so I'm just doing that time where we were talking, and he just remembers, he is failing as an artist. He just creates trite,
What about me?
derivative
Sorry, guys.
shit. And he's gonna go home and reevaluate his life choices. Maybe take up a trade.
Nice. Yeah.
Bases covered. Kid not dead.
Yup. Y'all solved my lich puzzle.
Do we want to do the conversation with Zola?
I would say
3 minutes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I would want to open
That's
up with
fine.
that because I feel like there's some like kind of tying up
I can't
here.
wait
And
to find out what magic items we got. I'm only attuned to one item right now.
Jesus Christ. No, you have the leg and the docent.
Oh yeah, well okay yeah. I don't even have the docent on my sheet because I don't think about that very much.
Gotcha.
Sorry. I'll put the docent down, but I mean, that's something I would unattune to if I found something better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so.
Oh, undoing probably requires attunement. Anyways, continue. Sorry, DM.
It's all good. Yeah, so I figured we'll open up tomorrow with y'all coming home, and we'll deal with that after. But
Tomorrow?
I mean next week. You know what I fucking mean.
I don't know. I mean, COVID time is weird. We could play D&D two days in a row. I've done it before.
I mean, I'm not opposed, but I think that other people have other things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably Kelly wants to play the D&D game that she is supposed to be in tomorrow.
Yep. I mean, but I also have time before that D&D game.
I mean, do you want that D&D game to have any planning done to it? Because if you do,
I mean, you had all week.
I think we should end on
In
Kelly,
fact-
you can go fuck yourself.
In fact, you had 3 weeks.
I did. Did I plan? Did I actually take that time to plan anything? Oh, lols, no. Welcome to
Well,
DMing.
Well, yeah, if you ever need an NPC PC, you can call me up and I'll fuck them over for you.
You want to come in and visit?
Yeah, I'd do that for sure.
I am so happy I got to do the haste thing.
No, that was
I'm sitting
fucking
there. I'm like,
evil.
why did I take haste? It's such a terrible spell because it eats up concentration and doesn't benefit me, which is a great spell, but for Terrath, it's an awful spell. And so I'm like, oh. And when I read that note, I'm like, well, let's have some fun.
That's incredible. And now I am definitely using that as a PC because I'm playing a DivWiz Goblin in another campaign.
But you have to convince the person to take it. That's the one caveat. It has to be a willing creature.
Yep.
So, you know.
Oh my gosh, now I'm just imagining more ways wizards can fuck over their friends. Oh, yeah, we're about to fight the big bad. Let me haste you. Well, of course I'm willing. We've been fighting together for 40 sessions. Ah! I drop it.
Yep. No, that's incredible, and I love it.
Or, like, the wizard hastes, and then, like, the wizard gets attacked, and then you also, like, they lose concentration, and that happens. Like,
yeah, that's the real
balls!
danger.
I forgot about its fucking familiar, because I was gonna have it have a familiar that would just swoop and fucking dragon breath you. I knew I was forgetting something.
Well, clearly it wasn't
have time
important.
to cast dragon breath. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I know, because here's
It
what
was done in 3 turns.
I know.
3 turns.
So what I plan on having it do in its first turn was dragon breath the familiar and the dimension door, and have the simulacrum dance macabre and do another bonus action that I forget, and then the hawk would just constantly dragon breath y'all.
18 seconds. 18 seconds.
Not even a full 18 seconds. Holly didn't even get a last turn.
Yeah. That's the problem with liches in general. That's why I threw them at a lower level party when we did it in our campaign, Kelly.
Yep.
It's because they have very low hit points, so like they're glass cannons. So you need to get I like the idea that if he knew he was going to be in a fight, he'd have some Tarask or some crazy beast, right? That you have to fight through to get to him, right? You're not just going to get on top of him.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he did try.
Yeah, he had the owl bears. I thought that 6 CR3s would be a good chip away.
Shield.
Yeah, and then I had the guards up front just in case. Those were 4 level 8 characters that you could have fought, because when he dimension doored, he would have gotten the guards, but he didn't get to dimension door.
Yeah, we needed to definitely have a counter spell for dimension door. That was the thing I was thinking the entire time.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Corey. Yeah.
Peace.
But D&D fun.
Yeah, Bowie. But yeah,
as a small.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I was just gonna say, as a small aside for the end of the show, the definite highlight of my week, probably my month, was last night. We played a one-shot D&D, and we have this new player who's now watched over 100 episodes of Critical Role, but has never played. And
4 nat 20s. 4 fucking nat 20s.
So she had a really good night, but also when I said, how do you want to do this at the very end, she was so happy, even though she wasn't the one getting asked the question, and she loved the game, and that's why we play D&D, right? It's because of that just joy that you get from playing the game, because it is really fun. It's always fun to introduce new people to it and to see them love it like you do.
Yup. Yeah, no, I love playing with new players, and I'm really excited. I'm less excited of having to hear my name twice, so... But no, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that Kelly's joining us, and it's always fun having a new player in the party.
Wait, you have 2 people named Kelly in that party now?
In a party of 4.
Cousin is joining our campaign, and her name is Kelly. But that's why we have character names, and that's why we never let the characters name each other the same thing. Or name themselves the same thing. We can't have 2 Groglots on this team.
But anyway, I do have to peace out. As always, I love playing with y'all. And it looks like we got a follow, so thank you for following. Hello, Mir. And I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
Bye.